gentlemen, and welcome to Texas Motor Speedway. Tonight we're bringing you all the action live from the Blazing Pedals TRJ Karting.com K&N series. We are live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, Texas Motor Speedway, the mile-and-a-half cookie cutter, and it is set up to be a good one here tonight. With me, as always, my good friend Rick. Rick, how are you tonight, brother?
Hey, man, listen, you hung out with me today, so you know I'm doing well, man. I've been excited about this race. We talked about it a lot tonight.
Yeah, we certainly have. And also joining us, well, he joins us once in a while when he's not driving, and it is COVID Foot Terry Foster. COVID Foot, how are you tonight, brother?
Feeling good, guys. I haven't hung out with you guys. I wasn't invited. Hey, we still have 8 drivers looking for 4 spots. It's going to be a hell of a race tonight, guys.
It sure is, and we can go ahead and start talking about that as I have a total brain cramp, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to do this one right here. This is going to show where everybody kind of stands right now, guys, and interestingly enough, it's Dalton Kilroe up top, Jamie Walker, and then the rest of the list. Top 8 drivers trying to make it above that cut line to make it to the top 4. This is race number 2 of the race of 8. Don't want to waste a lot of time here, so we're going to kick it on over to Terry Foster. Who do you got to talk to?
Tell you what, let's grab a 76 or Rick Thompson real quick. I'm watching him on track real quick. Go ahead and pull him in if you don't mind. Rick Thompson, you got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, bud, I know you're on track. Sorry about that. I should have gave you a warning. Hey, buddy, you're sitting 5th in points. You got to do something tonight and next week at Martinsville to make sure you're in that top 4. You got a plan planned out there, or are you going to have the speed mafia guys help you out? What's going on?
Well, obviously, yeah, my team helps me out a lot, especially with, if I need a point here, a point there, they're going to try to help me out best they can, unless they're trying to win the thing, and then, obviously I'm going to let them do that. But as far as the plan tonight is to be as easy on my right front tire as possible, because I think this race is going to come down to who is able to take care of that thing the best.
Well, I'm sure you've looked at who's in front of you. You got Derek Paulson right in front of you, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, Jamie Walker, Dalton Kilroe lead the points battle right now. So that's I would say that'd be your target for tonight and next week.
Yeah, I mean, tonight I've seen Brian and Corey are both really fast out there tonight, so I have a feeling they're going to shake it all up for us. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm hoping to catch up a little bit before Martinsville. I feel like Martinsville is a good track for me, so I'm hoping to get there with a smaller deficit than I currently have. But we'll see. We got to get through tonight.
Well, Rick, last time we was here, man, you started 25th and ended 11th, so you're not all that bad there, bud.
Yeah, this place is always, I don't know, I've never won here because for some reason I always get some kind of bad luck jinx or something, but, it'd be great. I'd love to sneak in tonight, surprise some people. We'll see what happens.
All right, bud. Well, I see you're still out there on track. Good luck tonight. Maybe we'll talk to you at the end of this thing.
Yeah, man, that'd be great. Appreciate it.
Good luck, bud.
Good luck to Rick Thompson, driver of the number 76. Going to try and get it done here tonight as these guys are getting ready to do a little bit of a pit party, and that's going to give us an opportunity to step away for just a moment. We got a bill to pay, guys, and we're going to do it right now. Back live as we are watching a little bit of a pit party. Rick, what have you seen so far that we need to be watching out for here at Texas? Oh, Rick is already gone. He is I believe he is checking in with some of the drivers. They leave me here all alone. It happens. I'm okay with it. Well, I'll tell you guys, these cars have been handling pretty gosh darn good here tonight, and we're going to see what happens as the night continues on. We do have some spotting going on. We do have a bunch of guys out there in the camera world too. So let's go ahead and take a peek at who we have. First of all, it's going to be Blake Decker. Decker out there in the 92. Brian Dees driving the 17 car. And then we've got Kilrow, number 41 is Dalton Kilrow, live on board with him. We've got Ian Habiak, driver of the number 16. We've got Corey Sherman, driver of the number 3. We've got Marquis Smith, driver of the number 21. Those are the live driver cams for tonight. And we look forward to bringing you all that action. We also have Terry Foster out there. We'll be showing his mug every now and again. And Rick, you're back up here now. I was asking a question, didn't know you weren't here. So,
oh, well, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I had to go and talk to the drivers that were on cam, just, wish them luck. There was a couple, specifically the 1 and 2 person right now in practice leaderboard. I wanted to give them a little props and see how they're feeling out there.
Yeah, well, before qualifying gets going, number 1 on the speed chart here before qualifying begins is that number 3 car, Corey Sherman. Sherman, as we know, needs a really big night here tonight to really elevate himself, try and get into that top 4, along with Brian Dees, the number 17 car. I'm Roscoe driving the number 1, third quickest with John Perkins in the 33. Welcome back, John Perkins. Looks like, oh boy, did he get a little bit of a paint update? Why, it looks like that's a spec map car now. That 33 is shining. Jamie Walker out there, going to be running in 5th spot. He did a starting park last week. Hopefully he's able to do the whole race here tonight. He comes in 2nd in points. Derek Paulson, another one of those drivers, Rick, he is going to be racing it out here tonight for a chase spot. So it's, look, there's a bunch of guys out there where the whole season could start and finish here.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Chris. I mean, we already talked about it. We're, this is race number 2 of the round of 8, but, these guys, there's only one more race after this. And unfortunately, we're going from a nice big track like, here in Texas, the home of Big Haas TV. And then we're moving to the paperclip next week. And we've already heard from a lot of drivers. And as you know, Chris, you and I have both driven on that track. It is very hard to pass there. So really, tonight, this is going to kind of seal the deal for a lot of drivers.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Missing cameras from, I just noticed Taylor the Butcher Benjamin not on camera tonight. Butcher, I'll get him later. Ooh, when they wreck here, they wreck big. Nothing small in Texas, right, Rick?
No, nothing small in Texas. I mean, everything's bigger in Texas. This is a great track. I mean, they have had some updates here on iRacing with Texas and on the real track, and it is a little different, Chris. I actually got to drive on this track last week. I did a little test just to see what it was all about, and it drives a lot different than what we're used to. And I think we're in for a really good show here tonight, and it's going to be fun seeing these guys go around. But we already talked about it. There's 4 guys that are, as of right now, if everything was to happen, they're going to the championship race. We already talked about them: Dalton Kilrow, Jamie Walker, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, and Derek Paulson. Right now, that's where they're sit. As of, once the green flag drops, it's going to change. But Rick Thompson, we just talked to him on the grid walk with Terry. He is right there below that cutoff line. But then, we talked about this also. The guys who are sitting 1, 2, and 3 right now on the practice charts. Now, of course, practice. Anybody can go out there and have a really good practice run. You have a bad qualifying run, that's going to change things. But right now, 3 guys, and that's Sherman, Dees, and Morosco. They all need to also have a good night. So they're all right there, and that's the top 8 there that we just talked about. And I don't know, man. There's a lot of things hanging here on a lot of drivers' shoulders here in Texas.
Well, there's a bunch, and well, we're gonna get word in from Terry as soon as he's done talking to all the drivers, see how everybody's feeling here tonight. But so far, from what I've seen out of the setup, it looks like it's pretty darn good as they're coming out for another pit party.
Now again, the thing about the setup, Chris, we talked about this before. Now, this is a modified fixed setup. This isn't just a regular fixed setup that iRacing does. League owner and main admin, Mark Arthur, he does the setups every week for these guys and puts it out. Now, we all know, we talked to a lot of drivers. We talked to Mark about it before. He makes these setups for the long haul. It might be kind of crappy. It may be really tight during the beginning of the race. As the stages and the race go on, that car gets really dialed in. So we're in for a really good race here tonight. 201 laps total, and I mean that's a long race. And these guys, they need it. And a lot of drivers. And I went down and I talked to a few. I went down and I talked to Marquis Smith. You know, I had to give him his pet top. He's looking really good there on cam. He's ready to go. He's feeling confident about tonight. Even though he's not into the chase, he wants to have a good race here. But I also talked to Corey Sherman. Sherman right now sitting that number one spot during practice. He's feeling really good. And, you know, Aaron's feeling good about tonight too. And so is Brian Dees.
All right, as these cars get cranked up, they're just getting used to driving next to each other on this big 1.5 mile track. And it is going to be coming up here very shortly, about 3 minutes, 15 seconds away from qualifying. We're going to step away for just a moment, and we will be right back.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series, and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
And we're back live here at Texas Motor Speedway. And Terry, you said during commercial, you said after I bounced around, I got some news. So why don't you go ahead and pop that out to the world, because everybody wants to know.
So I took a walk down through Andretti's pit lane there and talked to all the teams. I'm getting conflicting stories, guys, on the right front tire and the right rear tire. Half the guys say you got to baby that right rear. Half the other guys say you got to baby that right front. I've had one guy say, depending on how you get into the gas coming off the turns, is what's going to happen to that right rear. So kind of watch out for that, guys.
All right. Well, qualifying going to be starting now. And everybody's going to reset. Wow. Everybody's going to reset. Get ready to go. It looks like we have 20 drivers out there, guys. Not a bad way to get this thing going here.
Not bad at all. I was a little nervous there. I mean, we don't have much stake in it, Chris, but when I first joined this, there was only 12 drivers, and I was like, man, I mean, we got this week, next week, then we're off for a week while the guys get to vote for their championship race. I was like, I hope some more show up, and they definitely did.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping all these guys would show up. I don't want old Kofi to have to come out of retirement.
We already talked about him a little bit there, but that driver, that number 33, good to see John Perkins back. Got another Sunday night off. His boss must have been watching, Chris, and maybe we made him feel a little guilty, and they let John come back for another race.
Well, I got some news on that if you want me to tell you.
Well, yeah.
Well, I got to talk to John earlier today. I was asking him some questions about how the car was running because we was in a practice, and I told him, hey, man, glad to see you're back. He goes, yeah, he had to work last week because the boss had other things he had to take care of early Monday morning. So in order for his boss to take care of things, he had to be at work.
Ah.
All right, we're watching Corey Sherman. Don't mean to cut you off, guys, but he just ran his first lap, and so far, Corey Sherman, 4th quickest on the track. He's going to bring it on down. Oh, boy. I don't know what. Okay.
Whoa, teammates getting. Oh, whoa. Not teammates, but
I don't know.
That's okay. He's checking his brakes.
Blake Decker finished in the top 3, finished 2nd place last week, and the 92 looks like he's dialed in pretty good so far. 2nd quickest on the track. Brad Collins in the number 22 running away with this one a little bit until Decker made it around that time. 29.83, the time to beat.
Guys, we've seen Blake Decker last week at Kansas, man. He just, same size track pretty much. And, Decker won last week, and I think he's trying to do it again tonight.
But, Blake's on one of our live cams, guys, and I just noticed something, okay? Not the mason jar full of water, which obviously brings him good luck. I think we need to start like a GoFundMe and get him a booster seat.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the angle of the camera or what, but he needs a booster seat.
Okay, I was thinking myself that he seemed like he was a little far away, but whatever's comfortable.
That's the thing. 201 laps around Texas, man. I mean, this is going to be no joke tonight. I mean, we're going to see a lot of drivers. I mean, as we're looking through, Blake's out there doing his thing. Now, Blake, when you watch this over again, buddy, one thing that I learned from Dale Earnhardt Jr. back when he was still a rookie in NASCAR and he was a multi-champion in the Xfinity, aka the Busch Series. He always told us you want to get as close as you possibly can to your wheel so your arms don't get tired. And let me tell you, I have tested this on actual trips, long trips, road trips. Closer you are to the steering wheel, the better your arms feel and they don't get tired. And you don't have to worry about with these cars and this sim, you don't have to worry about them airbags coming out. So get right up on that wheel.
Well, whatever he's doing right now, Rick, I would tell him not to
working.
change a thing because Blake Decker right now, quickest driver around this track at 39.83, holding steady. Watching the TRJKarting.com, Toyota Camry, Ian Habiak, he's going to be bringing it down onto pit road. We'll swap over to Ty Morosco. Ty looking to have a good night here tonight, Terry.
Yeah, I talked to Ty just a little bit ago, too. He was one of them telling me about the right rear tire. So, I'm sorry, the right front, my bad. Said the car felt great, setup feels good. So, look for Ty to kind of do probably what he done last week, too. He finished up there in the top 6 last week. It's my bad, 7th, sorry.
Not the 41 car, Dalton Kilroe. Kilroe, one of those drivers that's in our camera shot here tonight. Dalton Kilroe in the 41, finishing first place last week, and that was a huge boost to what he has to accomplish here tonight, which is finish the race, not much more.
Dalton Kilroe, also the winner of the Texas race back in April, guys.
Yeah, so he knows this track. And he's prepared to get around it quick. Right now, though, only 3rd quickest at 29.86. Last lap was his quickest lap.
One thing I noticed too, guys, I've been watching these live cams here, that we have set up, and everyone is really doing a good job hydrating, getting ready for this race now. I mean, I know it's not really important because, you know, it's just a sim. You know, these guys are in climate controlled. It's not like it's, you know, 200 degrees in that car. But I'm a little worried, though. I saw Brian Dees come in with something, and I think it was water. I did see the Mountain Dew earlier, but did he drink it already?
I don't know, Rick, but speaking of getting hydrated, I sure am.
Yeah, me too.
I seen Brian Dees when he left his room and he came back. He does have a Mountain Dew sitting next to him. And I want to give a special mention. If you look over Brian Dees to be his right shoulder, that's a picture of his brother that passed away a few weeks ago. He asked me to mention that. So, Brian, there you go, buddy. That's for Michael right there.
Oh, yeah, it is. I mean, and we got to do something. I mean, we already got the, you know, of course, as a lot of people know, a lot of fans know, we lost one of, you know, Turn 3 Racing and iRacing's biggest fans earlier this season. And then we got the Skittles victory lane. We got to do something for Mike too. We got to do it. He's there. He's watching over us, watching over Brian. It's going to be a good race, and I love the helmet because the TRJ logo is on the top of that helmet also. I like that. Good little setup.
Well, guys, we step away for just a second and look at this. Tom Orozco now holds the top spot of 29.81, 2/100ths of a second quicker than Blake Decker. Derek Paulson follows him with a 29.82.
Roscoe was fast for in practice, so it's no surprise. You know, I'm keeping my eye on Brian Dees. He's sitting in the 4th spot right now, and I'm also keeping my eye on the Shermanator, who's sitting in 10th place right now. Now, he was very fast for in practice, but like I said, practice is a little different than qualifying. But again, it is a long race.
And we've talked about it already. Corey Sherman needs to have an outstanding night. This is his night. He's got to do it tonight.
Yeah, Chris, that's exactly where I was going to go. Let's see, Rick Thompson, Tom Roscoe, Brian Dees, Corey Sherman. Them guys need good races these next 2 weeks, man, to make it into that top 4.
And next week, I mean, Chris and I, we talked about that while you're going down and talking with the teams, Terry. You know, the thing is, tonight is really kind of the last, unless you really like the paperclip, tonight's the last time to make some big moves that you need to make, because the paperclip, I mean, unless you qualify really good or you stay out of people's problems, it's very, very tough to pass there.
I'm not a big fan of that track. I'd rather run Bristol than that short track, but right here's my tracks. These 1.5 miles, 1.75 miles, or whatever. I like these tracks. Shermanator just Shermanated the wall.
He did. Left a little of that pink paint there on the blue.
Well, speaking of pink paint, Rick, why don't you remind everybody what that's all about? Now, let's try and get this thing going here for Corey Sherman. We want to make sure these shirts sell.
Well, if you guys head on over to savageedge.com/store, and I will put it in the chat here on YouTube. But the Shermanator is selling some beautiful, I mean, Terry should really be talking about it because I think he knows a little bit more about it, but one of Corey's employees, a family member, if I'm not mistaken, dealt with breast cancer. So the Shermanator did something really cool. $5 to every Savage Edge Fighting Like a Girl breast cancer awareness shirt sold. $5 of that is going into a fund. And I think that's just amazing. I actually, I don't want to say it too loud because my girls are upstairs, but I did buy 3 shirts, one for each of my girls, for them to wear. And, you know, I hope other people do the same thing. They're $25. Shipping is always free with Savage Edge. And listen, Corey does a fabulous job. He does a lot of work for a lot of people. So, I mean, you know, if you can't donate, just share it. And you know, let's try to build up that fund a little bit.
Guys, it's about saving the Tatas, and you know, I don't want to seem crude, but that's the easiest way to say it. And there isn't a one of us out here who at one point hasn't lived because of lived. Look, I was a breastfed baby. I'm sure pretty much everybody out there was. Terry's raising his hand. Rick, I see you raising your hand. You don't even have a camera on. But that's just how it is. You know, I was over at Rick's earlier. I was watching Gavin get fed. This is the importance of that. So guys, reach out, savageedge.com, and check it out and help Corey help one of his employees. I mean, and so many other people at the same time. And it looks like, guys, that qualifying is all done. I had to keep that PG. That was kind of hard.
That was tough, yeah.
Well, you had to be sweating, buddy.
Terry's like, oh, where's he going to go with this one? I don't know. Well, Terry.
My mom's watching, Chris. be good.
All right, I think it's about time to hear from Ethan Habiak. The young man has himself a new little video to get these drivers fired up and ready to go.
Drivers, start engines. Woo!
I love it. I love the little woo at the end, courtesy of Ric Flair, as we get ready to hit the grid. Starting on the pole tonight, it's going to be the number 1 out of S&M Motorsports Camp. It's Tom Orozco to his outside, the 17 of Brian B. Starting on the inside, row number 2, Top Flight Racing's own number 6 of Derek Paulson. I don't believe that's true anymore. He just hasn't changed it. Starting on the outside, row number 2, it's going to be second place finisher from last week, the 92 of Blake Decker. Starting on the inside, row number 3, it's going to be the 41 out of Top Flight Racing. It's Dalton Kilroe. To his outside, it's going to be the 88 of Jamie Walker, one of the TRJKarting.com cars. Starting inside, row number 4, it's going to be the 21 of Marquis Smith. Starting to Marquis outside, it's going to be the 22 Speed Mafia's own Brad Collins. Starting inside, row number 5 tonight, it's going to be the 33 Speed Mafia's own John Perkins. And to his outside, it is going to be the 3 car. Starting in 10th spot tonight, TNA Motorsports' own Corey Sherman. Starting in 11th place tonight, it's going to be the 10 car. Out of Pennsylvania, it's Taylor the Butcher Benjamin. And to his outside, Rick, it's the 44. That is TNA Motorsports' Aaron Bockover.
And starting in row number 7, Chris, is going to be the 16 TRJKarting.com Toyota Camry of Ian the Hurricane Habiak. On his outside in 14th position out of the Mid-South, it is going to be the 19 with the driver Tanner Marr. In row number 8, it is going to be Speed Mafia 73 Casey Campbell in 15th. Brandon Feeney from B3 Motorsports, that number 38, going to be starting in 16th. In the next row, it is going to be the 55 Work in Progress Racing car of Corey Rutherford. Next to him on the outside, Outcast Motorsports. Number 9, Nick Okie in 18th. Brett Thompson qualified his Speed Mafia number 46 in 19th position. With teammate Rick Thompson from Speed Mafia in the 76 in 20th. That's going to round out the field.
Nothing left to do but to wait out this formation lap. These guys going to get ready to go. 201 laps the distance here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And you've got the Blazing Pedals, TRJKarting.com, K&N Series live on your display. Want to thank everybody for tuning in here live to the Turn 3 Racing Network and over on the PrideOutdoorNetwork.com. Can't thank you enough for all of your support here on a Sunday night. We've only got a little more than a handful of races to go, guys, to settle this season, and the pace car drops off. We're getting ready to put one more in the books. I'm Roscoe, your pole sitter tonight. Green flag is out. We're under green for the first time here tonight at Texas.
Roscoe got a really good start there of this race here. And right behind him, the 6 of Derek Paulson. Brian Dees trying to figure it out. Jamie Walker moving up 2 positions already, Chris and Terry. 2 positions already.
Well, Jamie Walker did the old start and park last week. Not able to complete that race. We're going to see if he's able to tonight. If he does, he is definitely going to be one of the drivers looking for a win here tonight. And Let's go ahead and bring up the board, guys. You're going to notice something kind of new here in the ticker. Up top, you're going to see names in red, names in green. The names in green mean your top 4 in points coming into tonight. Names in red mean that you are either 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th in points, looking to try and get to the top of the field here tonight to push yourself over the edge. Pretty cool little thing we were working on. Seems to be working out just fine.
It's looking good, man.
Yep, they're going through all the cars. Everybody's starting to get in a good line there. Nobody's pushing the issue. I think we're going to feel what we did last week, guys. First stage and the end of the second stage. I think these guys just going to sit back, relax, and race the last 101 laps pretty hard, probably.
Well, one thing we know for sure is Ty Roscoe goes up a little high, and Derek Paulson taking a peek to the inside across the start-finish line, getting ready to head into turn 1. Derek Paulson going to take the lead over early here on lap number 4, but kind of getting back to it, I forget what I was saying, so we'll just keep watching the race. That's how we do that, guys.
That's what happens when you get old.
If anybody wants to remind me where I was going, I'd be happy to get back there. But right now, Brian Dees, one of the fastest drivers on the track. Last time by a 29.87 for Brian Dees, and he is right on the back bumper of Ty Roscoe. A lot of these guys know they have to go.
Yeah, they definitely have to go. Now, the top 4 right now, all of those drivers had to have a good race here to get locked in for that championship race. There is only one race left to decide the 4 that are going to the championship race on November 22nd, guys. So, I mean, we got tonight, we have next week at Martinsville, then we take a week off, and then we head to the championship race, which we don't know where that's going to be yet, guys. I mean, this is the best thing. This is one of the things that I love about Blazing Pedals is how they figure out their championship race, Chris. And Terry, of course, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see how all this works out and where we go. I know I have a track in mind if it comes down to a tiebreaker, but I'm excited to see. But these guys are definitely pouring it on hard right now. Brian Dees just got around Morosco to take over second. So Brian Dees is definitely very racy here tonight. Now, another guy who is in the chase right now trying to lock in is the guy in 7th position. That's the 10 of Taylor the Butcher Benjamin right behind him. Another guy, Dalton Kilroe, sitting on top of the points right now, due to the fact that Jamie Walker did that starting park last week, and it's looking good here for Walker this week. So, Dalton got your gimme, but I think it's done. And the Shermanator, down 2 positions right now, racing pretty hard with the Hurricane right now. The Shermanator on the inside of that TRJ Karting 16 Toyota Camry, trying to figure a way around Ian to get into that 11th position. And of course, last but not least, Rick Thompson up 4 positions, the biggest mover so far here tonight. Rick Thompson in that 76-speed Mafia machine up 4 positions to 16th right now, working his way through the field. And Terry, I think you're right. I mean, stage 1 going to be happening at the end of lap number 48, stage 2 at the lap of 100, and at the end of lap 100. And then it's going to be a race to that final 100 laps. And, I know guys are definitely thinking about fuel. They're thinking about tires. I mean, we already talked about tires a little bit, how these guys have to protect things. So you don't want to burn it up too early. Only 3 sets to go.
Yeah, Rick, we're going to look at the fuel strategies, fuel runs, rather. It's going to be like it was last week, somewhere between 26, 28 laps. One guy did say he pushed it a little bit, got 29 laps out of the tank of fuel. Remember, we only run 50% fuel in this thing. It's like 9.8 gallons or something like that.
A lot of that's going to definitely come. I mean, we'll see that come into play. I think probably maybe stage 2 and that final stage of the race, guys are going to start saving and doing what they have to do. They might test it out here for stage 1, but right now, 10 laps already in the books, guys, of 201.
The laps are ticking down pretty quick here, and Brian D is starting to lose a little bit of ground to Derek Paulson. Paulson leading the way here after he got around our pole sitter of Ty Morosco. Morosco sits back in the 3rd position, but Morosco looking a little bit on the high side, like he was going to look at the 17, but decided better of it. And Jamie Walker sneaks in just a little bit closer in 4th place. In 5th spot, though, how about this? He's up 2 spots. It's the 21 of Marquis Smith.
Yeah, guys, I don't think Jamie Walker in that 88, I don't believe he's going to be in a hurry that much tonight. He's pretty much locked in as long as he stays up front there.
Well, there's only one way to know for sure, Terry. You know, the only way to know for sure, and honestly, Walker's having some blinking concerns here early on in this one, but the only way to know that you're going to make it to the next round is to win a race. So Walker going to be pushing pretty hard for that. He is the winningest most driver here at the Blazing Pedals throughout the season, but again, having some serious blinking concerns right now.
Well, Michael, we will look at the 33 when those guys want to get to it. He said, check out the 33's new ride.
Oh, I already have. I already brought it up. Thing is looking sharp.
He is a good-looking dog, that's for sure.
And I knew that had Michael Falk's name all over it as soon as I saw it. Man, is it looking good. Special shout out to trjkarting.com. Make sure that you check them out over at trjkarting.com for all of your karting and sim racing needs. Rick, I understand you. Well, I heard you talking to Tim earlier. You're looking for another set of shoes?
Well, here's the thing, okay? When I ordered I already have a pair of Alpine racing shoes that I did buy from TRJ Karting, along with my gloves that I bought, because I like to protect my investment in my wheels. With the finish that they have on them, they do recommend wearing gloves. So I want to support Tim and Chris. The viewers may know, but Chris and I and our friend Andy, we started a league ourselves called Racing for a Cause, and Tim had these Autism Speak racing gloves on his site, and actually I think I might have gotten one of the last few pairs because I don't see them on there anymore. And so I snagged those up really quick because I love supporting causes. That's what it's all about. And I love supporting Tim because he's a small business here in the US. And I've seen, I do research. I don't just support anybody. And when I went on Tim's page, TRJ Karting, I saw all these, smaller real life kart people that, kids that he was supporting. If somebody needed tires, Tim donated tires to them to let them, so they can get their race done. And, got them all scrubbed in.
Right, he's under the 6 for the lead, you guys.
He is, yep, you're absolutely right. I was watching that too. But that's okay. I didn't want to break into myself. No, I'm just kidding. But, so I saw that, so I want to support Tim. But what happened was I got a 10.5. Now the problem is my foot is only a 9.5. I thought I might be able to get it by, but it does hurt my feet when I use my pedals after a while, just because they're so big. So at one point, I'm gonna have to donate those to somebody. And oh, we're under caution.
Yellow flag is out.
Oh no, Jamie Walker.
First caution of the night. Let's go back and take a peek.
Boom.
Jamie Walker working the inside. The 21 Marquis Smith. Oh, may have had contact. And it looks like the 88 just kind of scrubbed his nose across the wall. Maybe going to be okay. Very little damage, if any, on the 88, but he is going to have to start back from the rear of the field as everybody went around, and that is going to bring out caution number 1. We're going to step away. After this, we'll be right back.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Back live here at Texas as some of these pit stops are still happening. Terry, you had a little idea there. Why don't we go ahead and bring that up, because I think you might be onto something.
Yeah, I said we noticed Jamie in that 88's been blinking quite a bit now in this first session. I wondered if he might have blinked and
entirely possible for sure. One guy choosing to stay out, it's Brandon Feeney in the number 38. Feeney.
I got to talk to Brandon Feeney just a little bit ago. I told him, I said, from an admin standpoint, thanks for showing up and racing. And he says he will be back next season. Probably right now he's just wanting to get some seat time in, but he should be back full racing next season, guys.
That's great.
That's awesome to hear. So I just heard from race control there. It was, and correction on Terry, it was the 21 machine of Marquise Smith that got into that. The 21 is going to be getting an EOL. Watching his driver cam of Marquise Smith, definitely not happy, but a long race to go. He's got to just shrug it off and get back out there.
But what we don't know is what he was seeing through his VR, Rick, and it could very well have been, he just simply didn't see it. But VR, Marquise Smith, is taking that penalty. He's going to go back to the end of the field. We're going to get restarted here in just a moment. Pace car lights are off, and we're ready to go back to green flag here at Texas. Been a long weekend. I'm hoping everybody set their clocks back an hour, and in the words of my good friend Rick, make sure you check and replace the batteries in your smoke and carbon dioxide detectors. This is the time to do it. Carbon monoxide.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, well, it's one of those carbons. But it's the one that's going to kill you, so it's kind of important.
Yeah, Chris, I'm sitting there watching Marquise. Yes, he's upset, but man, he's got a fast car. I don't expect him to be back in the back very long.
No.
Well, they've already taken their one stop of the first stint here, and Brandon Feeney gets a good restart. Feeney going to lead this one. So we don't have to worry about tires or fuel, mostly fuel. I don't believe anybody's going to take tires this early, but maybe.
Well, looking through the pit times, guys, nobody took tires this time. So, 3 sets. These guys can do a lot of different things. We already had one caution here. We're on lap 21 now. We had an early caution. The next one, hopefully that comes out, is going to end stage number 1, which is scheduled to end at the end of lap number 48. So 3 sets. These guys can do a lot of things, but 101 laps after that second stage ends, guys. I think I'd want to save a set now. It all really depends too. It's easy to say that, guys, but if we have a nice clean race as Time Roscoe working that sucker roll to get around the 38, Brian D is right behind him right now. Feeney fighting on the outside in that number 38, trying to hang on to the lead, but Morosco getting a really good run with Brian D is right behind him on that inside lane. But, if it's a nice clean race, these guys, it's hard, because if you sit there and you think that a caution might come out, that could screw you over. You might have to do a green flag pit stop. And here, I do believe you go pretty much with a set of tires. It's pretty dang close to almost going down a lap.
And just like I said, guys, Marquise is already up to 15th spot. Yeah, after starting off the backside out there.
So Smith is moving, but so is Tom Roscoe, our race leader. He is fighting for a top 4 in the points by the time this one is done. Tom Roscoe looking pretty good out there in the 1 car. Brandon Feeney still holding on, running a very different line though, guys. He's way up there, and that's going to allow a couple of drivers to go underneath him this time by, including the 41 or the 38 gets into the wall. Everybody is taking evasive action.
Good job by Brian Feeney holding that thing in the wall. Let these guys get around him. Talk about Time Roscoe in that number 1. He finished 2nd place for the last time he was here, guys. Started 16th, finished 2nd. So he knows how to get around here also.
Second place, Brian Dees being followed by Colin Kilrow. And Kilrow looking to try and get himself to the front. He is up 2 positions since the beginning of this one. Biggest mover of the race so far. How about this? It's the 9 car of Nick Okie.
Chris, do you happen to have who the fastest lap is at the moment? Why we're this far into the race?
Give me a minute. Right now, Tom Orozco, a 38.6 last time by. Your race leader, the quickest car out there.
Okay, well, Brian Dees, last time we was here, had the quickest at a 29.8. Brian started 5th, finished 8th. So, again, these guys know how to get around this track.
And guys, I just wanted to mention lap 25, Rick Thompson, the 76 machine, having some issues. He hit the inside wall. I'm not exactly sure what happened to the 76 there, but heavy front end damage right now.
Rick Thompson actually on pit road, and not good for the driver of the 76, who was really hoping for a good night here tonight. Not looking good so far. And here comes Dalton Kilrow, your third place runner. He is getting to the inside of D's. Dalton Kilrow looking to try and take away second spot. Kilrow still working the inside. D's battling back on the outside, using the momentum of the outer lane here, that second groove up. And here comes Kilrow again, using that shortest distance around the track, trying to get that spot, and this time he has it. Dalton Kilrow, your second place runner.
As he was doing that, you could see Paulson just inching up on them guys.
I was going to say that another MF Design Racing car, that's 6 out of Outcast Motorsports there, doing a heck of a job out there. Of course, they got Blake Decker right behind him and the Butcher Benjamin. So the 6 definitely making moves. Everyone out there making moves that they have to do right now. Ty Roscoe, Dalton Kilrow, Brian Dees, Derek Paulson, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin inside that top 10. Those guys need to have a good race here to continue on to Martinsville and for their chances to run for the championship.
Looking at the kid, Ian Habiak right now running in 9th spot, up 4 since the beginning of the race. Ian Habiak being very consistent around this track, and it's proving out right, as he is running 9th right now, just behind Nick Okie. And again, Okie, he is blasting the doors down in this place, up 10 spots since the beginning of this race.
Rick, I know you listen to race control and stuff, but did you happen to listen to what Tanner Marks said a couple laps back about his pedals?
I did not know.
Yeah, he was letting guys get around him. I guess he's having pedal issues.
Oh boy. Panamar up 1 position from the drop of the green flag. That 19 sitting in 13th position. Right behind him, the Shermanator starting to make his way back up through the field.
Behind Corey Sherman, it's the 44 of Aaron Bockover teammates. Bockover really just out there to help support the 3 car at this point, much like Terry would be. But the 44 has his own race to run, and a win is a win.
Yeah, remember, guys, last week, Blake Decker won Kansas. He's not in a points battle whatsoever. Means these other guys have got the race to get in, the final 4. It wouldn't be too much for somebody in the back here to get another win and make these guys really race at Martinsville next week.
But that's almost fun, isn't it? I mean, it would be. Speaking of,
That was fun to go to the dentist.
The 92, my lord, he is throwing that car around. Right now, Brian D stuck on the outside. The 92 going to be working on the inside along with Taylor the Butcher Benjamin. The Butcher going to try and get there. Close the door on the 17. Yes, he makes it. The Butcher right there heading into the turns 1 and 2.
Blake Decker, we watched him during practice and we poked a little fun on the way that he was sitting, Chris. Now he is sitting up straight. He's up against that wheel, man. He's loving it. And let me tell you, I know it's quote unquote water in that mason jar, but whatever that elixir is, it's working out for him. Blake Decker very fast here tonight.
I'm sitting there watching, about ready to bite his tongue off again like he did last week.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what do you say we hop into the driver's seat here, take a lap around this big 1.5 mile track with Blake Decker, Rick?
I mean, it's great. I mean, with these live cameras too, I mean, he is all business right now. Then you look over, you got Brian Dees racing there, his brother looking over his shoulder. He's very calm and he's very focused, but he's a little bit more relaxed, just doing his thing. You look over to Dalton Kilrow. Dalton looks like he's doing a lot of chat there with his teammates. and you know, trying to figure it out. He's up all over the wheel. You got Ian Habiak, who looks like he's ready to fall asleep, but trying to break into that top 10. He is very, very focused. You got the Shermanator, who I swear to God, if he wasn't wearing VR, he would probably scare people with the look of determination on his face. He knows he's got to have a good night. Marquis Smith looking good, and Terry's looking all over the place. He's got like 13 monitors over there. He's like, I don't even know which one to look at, guys. But I love watching the expressions on all these guys. I mean, you look at, like you said, Blake Decker, you know, he's got his tongue out. He's going to bite it off. He's turning into his corners. That kid means business right now, let me tell you.
Pretty cool thing to watch. And of course, our race leader is none other than Dalton Kilrow, who took it over from Ty Morosco. Morosco doesn't want to see that, guys. He wants to be in front all night long.
Marquis Smith getting around the Hurricane. Marquis back into the top 10, guys. Doing a heck of a job. Now, Chris, I just want to remind you, and not right now because there ain't much going on around the TRJkarting.com number 16 Toyota Camry, but maybe on the next restart, we might want to do the live spotting thing. I don't want you to forget.
Oh, no, I'm good. I am all over it. And that opportunity is going to be coming right around the corner as we're working lap number 38. First scheduled yellow flag supposed to come out at the end of lap 40. Of course, we've already served one caution flag already between the 21 and the 88. Marquis Smith, Jamie Walker. Dalton Kilrow leading the way. Ty Morosco right behind him. Behind those two, we've got a battle going on for third spot. The 92 with a little contact with the 6. That pushes Derek Paulson up, and here comes the Butcher goes around, and Brian D's looking to take advantage as well. So a little push there, and Derek Paulson loses a couple of spots back up front. The 41 leading the 1. And you know Ty Morosco would love to try and get around the 41 of Dalton Kilrow before the end of this lap. All the points you can possibly muster are on the line, and right now Dalton Kilrow is looking to take them all as he cuts down to the inside and across the start finish line, and that should bring out the caution. Except for it doesn't, because it's lap 48. Oh my goodness.
I was a little, you had me all confused there, because I was watching a couple different things, and I'm like, caution for what?
Oh my Lord. Well,
48, bud. We got
my glasses. My glasses are good, but not with the monitor way over there.
I know, that's like Terry. He's looking out over the space there, but you know, Blake Decker, as they were racing, man.
Terry didn't say a thing, Rick. No, he didn't say nothing. He's just sitting there smiling, shaking his head.
I'm not going to either. I'm like, oh, Ty is really on the back of the 41 adult trying to get that spot.
Well, he needs that spot. We've talked about it. That's championship points that are available, and Ty Morosco would love to have them all. The one car right on the back bumper. Behind them, it's the Butcher running in third spot. Now we're looking at Blake Decker. Decker has a right side full of the 17 of Brian Dees. Dees trying to get back past him. Can he do it on the outside, guys? This is the look. We haven't seen the outside working at all yet. Will it come into play at all here tonight?
I think it will, as the guys keep running up there, Chris, and getting that rubber laid down. You know, maybe towards the end of the second stage, definitely into the third and final stint here. But you know, you're absolutely right. I was looking.
Brian Dees hard. That right rear was starting to come around. It was going to pass the front. Dees with a good job to save that car. Brian Dees gives up a little time on track, but was able to save the car. And if you guys didn't see that, well, you missed something special.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching. I'm in a modified view just so I can catch most of the field there. And you know, Brian Dees definitely got his hands full there of the Mountain Dew number 17 S&M Motorsports machine. But doing a good job. But you know, Chris, I was talking Ty Morosco. Yes, he wants every point that he can possibly get. You know, Dalton Kilrow is looking pretty there in the number 1 position in the point standings. Ty Morosco sitting in 6th, so he is just below that cutoff line. Right now, he's doing better than Rick Thompson, who is still on pit road here. So that's going to hurt Thompson's night here tonight. But Morosco definitely needs every single point that he can get, and that's why he's racing Dalton so hard, I think.
Now, Brian D is also racing very hard right now. The 17 car works his way back down to the inside. D's, look at the focus and determination on his face as he is working side by side with the 92 car. Oh, he gets around him.
Morosco needs to make
around
there. He's making a move on him, trying to. He's got to do something here if he wants to get them extra points.
You know, that's the thing. I mean, Blake Decker doing everything that he can. Of course, he won last week, as Terry did mention, and folks saw here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. But, you know, Brian Dees, he wants to get as many positions as he can, too, because Brian Dees right now sitting 7th in points coming into this race. Corey the Shermanator Sherman in 8th. And right now, pit road is closed. So in 2 laps, guys, stage 1 will be ending.
Yeah, this time for real.
For real.
As Don Killow leads the way, but Ty Morosco, he is trying to figure out a way to get to the inside or outside of the 41. I believe the inside is the direction he's looking for, but Kilrow doing a great job getting right down to that white line.
You know, Dalton knows that the top line has not come in yet, so he does not want to leave that bottom line open for Morosco. I mean, you know, even though Dalton's sitting in first, anything can still happen. I mean, we still have Martinsville to worry about, and an early night there with everybody else doing better. I mean, that could kind of hurt just a little bit, but you know, he wants to get out there and win as much as he possibly can too. I mean, this is it, guys. We got this week and next week, and then it's the championship, man. And then we go from 8 to 4, and I can't wait for that championship race.
Just a little ways to go before the start finish line, and there it is. Dalton Kilrow officially this time will be the stage 1 winner, as caution flies for Dalton Kilrow and his number 41.
You know, guys, watching Brian Dees when he got a little squirted back here, I don't think his expression changed one bit.
I think he should grab a do because he deserves it.
Yeah, I think you might be right, but our stage 1 winner is the 41. And guys, I believe we have an opportunity here to take a little bit of a break. We're going to do that. And when we come back, we're going to start off on stage number 2 right around the corner, live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Texas as we begin stage number 2. Pace car lights are still on, so we've got at least another lap to go before we go back to the green flag. Our race leader right now and stage winner, Dalton Kilrow. And guys, I'd be remiss if I didn't say a belated happy birthday to Dalton Kilrow just the other day. He celebrated one, and we don't want to miss out on those. So happy birthday to Dalton Kilrow.
But he doesn't get no cool YouTube blast like 17 times in a broadcast.
I mean, I could probably make it happen.
Well, I don't know if you see it, Rick or Chris, but Ty Morosco received throughput
Yes.
fail.
Oh boy.
And he has reconnected though. But still, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, that is not at all what Ty Morosco needed here tonight. Absolutely devastating for him.
Now, I just noticed Rick Thompson 23 laps down, guys, and he's one I talked to at the beginning of the program here. Oh, that's not good for him.
You know, he is back out on track now, but yes, he is 23 laps down. And one thing, you know, I looked back when I saw, I mean, it didn't throw the caution because he got off the racing surface. But I'm not sure what happened. He was in the middle lane, and next thing you know, his car just went down into the inside wall, guys, and heavy damage on the 76 Bacon Shake Bates Dodge. And I'm not sure. I mean, he had to go in there, had tons of repair time. He was in there for, what, over 12 minutes, guys.
Well, look at this. We got Rick Thompson 23 laps. Ty Morosco's down 1 lap now. Jamie Walker back in 14th place, guys. We got some top runners back in the back now.
We do.
And everybody's going to be pushing towards the front here as we get ready to go back to the green flag. Our race leader, the 41 of Dalton Kilrow, and he chooses the outside lane, guys. We know that you can't pass there, but maybe it is a good spot to start from.
Well, you know, restarting there, Chris, I think they're going to be all right now. I'm just looking through, and it looks like pretty much everybody took a set of tires on that last pit stop. So these guys have fresh rubber. They're going to be able to work them in a little bit there on that outside lane, and I think that's what they might be trying to do. Dalton's kind of figuring, you know, maybe I can keep some of these guys behind me now. He's got some strong contenders right behind him. He's got the 10 Top Flight Computers Impala of TBB. He's got John Perkins there and that beautiful champion barbecue supply. We're under green.
Yeah, we are, and we're watching Ian Habiuk. Why don't you say we drop down and listen in?
They're all around. Contact in front of you. Contact in front of you. 3 wide in front of you. Contact. You got 1 blanket in front of you. Outside. 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 Clear. Clear all around. You got 1 behind you coming up on you. 6 back. 6 back to the 19. Clear all around. 4 back to the 19. Clear all around. Car coming out of the pits. Clear all around. 5 back, 5 to the 19. Clear all around. Clear all around. Hopefully if this track rubber's up and we can get a little bit more time out of these tires. That's going to be tough, that last stage on 1 set of tires. Clear all around. Yeah, your pace was about 2.5 seconds off from the beginning of the stage to the end of the stage. Clear all around. Try to consider these tires a little bit more running a wider line. Either wider line or just roll on the bottom. Gotta be one of the two. I can't have you gunning it at the bottom, blowing off the right front. Might have to start that final stage on same set of tires. We can. .88s to the inside. 88s to the inside. Inside. He got new rubber, and then he came back into the pits on the last lap to top off on fuel. try to follow his line if you can. He was quick towards the end of that stage. They're all right. They're what? You're staying with pace on him there, and then you're picking up the throttle too early. Because you're staying on pace, if not catching him a little bit towards the exit of 2, and then you're picking up throttle before he is, and it's pushing you out. He's picking up the throttle later than you on 1 and 2, on the exit of 2. That's the only difference. Your entry is as fast, if not faster, because you're a little bit wider. There you go. I know it probably feels uncomfortable for you, but you're gonna have to hunt around for alignment without blowing the right front off. You're clear all around. There's no pressure behind.
Oh, we got some words in there from Tim Habiuk, Ian Habiuk's father and spotter here tonight. Rick, just trying to help him find a line.
And you know what's amazing, Chris, now that we have these in-car cameras, or driver cameras, that we get to show these folks, and you had it up. You know, one thing that I thought was cool, and it's something that we never got to see before, because, you know, Tim, number one, you're not allowed to take any more vacations, bud, because we missed you, and we missed coming down to that spotting channel. And I know, you know, you didn't have a lot of work to do, but one thing I love, Chris, is, you know, I was watching Ian as his dad was talking to him, and for the most part, and I'm sure Terry noticed this too, for the most part, Ian just drove. You know, he's listening to his dad. His dad's in the same room as him, and they're just talking. And, you know, Ian did have a question, so he mentioned it, but that just goes to show, I mean, when you have somebody that you're so comfortable with, you can constantly drive and you can let them talk. You're hearing them through your ears. We noticed that Ian has no headphones or anything on, earbuds, nothing like that. So he's got speakers, but he's really concentrating on what his dad says. And he asked the question, Tim answered it real quick, and it works out. And that is so nice to have when you're in iRacing. It doesn't matter if it's a league race, an official race, you know, a 24-hour event, you know, a full-length race. You know, when you have somebody, and you've done it for me, and I've done it for you, Chris, and, you know, so I know I can attest. To me personally, I mean, I know I can get kind of chatty sometimes, or maybe I you know, lose focus, but you're always there, man. You're keeping me cool, and that's exactly what Tim's doing for Ian, and it's really cool to be able to look in the cameras and actually see that now.
Well, one thing I see right now, Rick, is we have a new leader. It's Taylor the Butcher Benjamin. He's being followed by Brian Dees, Derek Paulson. Our stage 1 winner has fallen back to 4th spot in Don Kilrow. Is this a tire save move? We heard Tim talking about tires already, and knowing that final stage, you don't want to go into it with just one set.
But I kind of felt bad about that too, because, you know, Tim kind of, you know, we were there when Tim was talking about a little bit of strategy of what he's trying to do with his driver, but, you know, I don't think too many of the drivers actually sit there and listen to the stream, so it might work out. And even if they do, I mean, you know, gaining that little bit of information isn't a huge help, but, you know, that's something that Tim is definitely worried about. You can see it, that he's trying to figure out what is going on and trying to keep his driver cool, calm, and collective, saving the equipment that they have, because, you know, as we talked about earlier, each of these drivers have technically 4 sets of tires. They have the set that they start with, to start the race with, and they have 3 more after that. So that's technically 4 sets. They can only change it 3 times. And it's a long race here tonight, 201 laps. You know, the next caution, stage 2 caution, going to be coming out at the end of lap 100. So then you go from 100 to 101. That's a long time. You want to try to save at least a set. And, you know, Ian has already been warned. You might have to start it on an old set of tires.
Yeah, lap 100 is the final stage. Lap 201 is going to be the end of the race. Barry, what have you been watching when we were away listening in?
I was actually watching TBB take the lead there from Brian Dees and them guys, and just I'm still watching him, man. He's just walking away a little bit from these guys. I'm hoping he's not tearing up them tires.
And that's something we'll have to wait and find out for, because there's really no way of knowing until the results are in. Well, Dylan Kilrow looks like he's going to start marching himself back towards the front as he goes down to the inside of Derek Paulson. Paulson on the outside, Kilrow to the inside, and Kilrow makes that pass happen.
Also, kind of watching 21, Marquis Smith. You remember a little while ago, he had that EOL, and he's made his way up to 7th place already, guys. That's where he started the race.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and that's exactly where he started this thing. So, good on Marquis Smith, not giving up. You got to just take a deep breath and, just let that stuff roll off your shoulders. And that's exactly what Marquis is doing right now, and working his way back up through the field.
I'm going to throw a shout out right now, guys, to Nick Okie, driver of the number 9. He's up 13 spots. He's driving in the 5th position. He's got a mirror full of the 92 of Blake Decker, though.
And that's another new paint scheme too, guys.
How many paints can Michael Falk do in a week? My goodness.
I don't know, but if anybody needs a paint, I already put up the link to Michael Falk's MF Racing Designs on Facebook, man. He does. I mean, I'm a painter, and I feel actually kind of bad calling myself a painter after seeing what Michael can do with these things. And let me tell you, it's a little Halloween theme, man. Happy Halloween there on the hood. Got some blood going on. I'm loving that thing.
I think that is cool. Nick said something about getting that car out this week too. Oh, him and Blake touched a little bit there. But I was just thinking, those two, 92 and the 9, those guys can take some valuable points away from all these other guys that needs them.
Definitely can.
Derek Paulson fell back a little bit into almost the clutches of the 88. Jamie Walker trying to get up towards the front just a little bit more. Guys, Jamie Walker's made his way up the 7th spot after being spun a little earlier in the race.
But lap 72, we're going to start seeing, the 17 called out. He is getting ready to go into pit road for service here. Last time on pit road, I believe, was lap number 50 there for Brian Dees.
All right.
Dees last week had a terrible pit stop trying to get into his pits, or was that somebody else?
There were a couple of drivers last week.
Yeah, there were.
And I don't recall if it was Brian.
Oh, and other thing, when you guys was away there listening to Ian Spotter, Tim, I was watching the 55. He was having real bad blinking problems. Everybody was scared about where he might have been. Sam come over the comms and told him where he was. He kept it high so everybody could get around him.
And of course, we're talking about the 55, Corey Rutherford, who right now is being followed by the 44 of Aaron Bockover. Brian Dees going to be the last driver on the lead lap if he can get out ahead of the race leaders. Let's check in on Corey Sherman. Sherman's one of those drivers that needs a good night here tonight. He's running in 13th position, just ahead of, we have the wrong Thompson highlighted. How about that? The Fred Thompson highlighted. I got the wrong Thompson number in there. That's my fault. I'll fix that for next week. Of course, that's supposed to be Rick Thompson, who, guys, is still on pit road and down 23 laps now.
Starting to see guys go laps down. That's only because Taylor hasn't pitted yet.
Our race leader coming down pit road along with Dolan Kilrow, and that gives the lead over to Marquis Smith in the number 21. So Marquise has recovered, guys. He's leading this one right now. And now coming down pit road, didn't waste any time. Oh, Nico Kie, I think he may have bounced off from that inside wall. I see a little damage to that left front fender. That is going to affect that car as we continue on. Our new race leader going to be the 33 of John Perkins. Dalton Kilroy trying to stay ahead of Perkins. He does. He stays on the lead lap, so it is possible here. A couple other drivers not so fortunate, as you see Marquis Smith and Jamie Walker coming off pit road.
Guys, I know he's not in the chase anymore, but Cinderella leading this group around right now. I'm so glad John's back out here as he's coming down the pit lane here.
He's coming down pit road. That might surrender the lead over to Brad Collins in the 22. A Speed Mafia machine. Brad Collins stays out. He leads a lap.
That's kind of interesting, Chris, is in the past, we've always seen the Speed Mafia guys kind of stay together, pit together, come out together, and just hang around each other. We're not seeing that tonight.
No, well, you're absolutely right, Terry. I mean, and it's getting to that point in the season where, look, you know, for better or for good, some guys are still in the chase, some guys aren't. You kind of have to run your own race. Ian Habiak now being scored as your race leader. Habiak has not come down pit road yet. I expect he will this time by.
You know, as John Perkins went down pit road, guys, I was looking at that beautiful paint scheme that Michael Flock Racing Designs did for him, the Championship Barbecue Supply, number 33 Speed Mafia machine, looking mighty good, Chris. And there's a couple things that I noticed, and I forgot to talk to you and the rest of the boys over here at Turn 3 Racing Network, but if you look at the rear back bumper of that Dodge RT, there is a Turn 3 Racing logo there. I might have thrown him a little bit of sponsorship money, and the part that I love is new paint scheme. He still has "Thanks, Boss" on that spoiler.
I love it.
I asked him what he does for a living. He said if he told me he had to kill me, so I just dropped it.
Well, you know, he is a part of Speed Mafia. There's a big hint there, and it's not the word speed that you might not want to talk about.
That's right. Got him and Campbell and the Thompsons. I don't want to mess with them.
No. You know, it's been a while, but a few months back there, you actually did a grid walk there with Fred Thompson. And I swear to God, when he left, I swear I heard in a very faint voice says, "Y'all are going to be kissing my ring." So.
On my mother's birthday.
I haven't seen your mom check in on chat yet, Terry.
Yeah, I've been looking. She's probably tired. She had two of my grandkids over there today while my daughter worked, so she's probably tired and in bed by now.
Well, I hope you sent out her shirt.
I did. I got her the matter of fact, the one I got on TNA Motorsports.
That shirt that you have on right now, Terry? You want to just open that thing up so we can see it better? Because it's kind of crinkled in the front there, so you're going to have to just kind of pull the sides out. There you go. Oh, yeah. There it is.
If you guys are interested in any TNA Motorsports gear, make sure you head on over to savageedge.com. There is a link or a section there for TNA Motorsports. Corey has all the cars there, and I'm just saying, the 86 cars, I might have had a hand in painting them. Don't go with the green one. That's not my best work, but that black and yellow one, man, I love that thing.
Yeah, she's got a better t-shirt than I do. On the back of hers actually has my car and the number on it.
Oh, boy.
Well, green flag pit stops have cycled through, and Dalton Kilroy is your race leader. He's being followed by Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, about a 0.6 of a second gap there. Then third place belongs to Brian Dees, 1.77 seconds behind the Butcher. The D's machine is moving though. He is fast here tonight, guys. Watch out for that 17.
Well, you know, we talked about it a couple of times. Brian Dees driving with a mission there in the Mountain Dew number 17 S&M Motorsports machine. And right now, he came into this race at the drop of the green flag. He was 7th in points. Rick Thompson kind of having a bad luck here. So Morosco or Brian Dees might move up into 6th there. Morosco might move up into 5th. And those guys definitely racing very hard to try to figure out tonight. And look at, you know, we talked about him a couple times, but the guy sitting in 4th, Marquis Smith, worked his way all the way back up through. Now, I know it was tough because he had the EOL there with that first caution that came out. But Marquis is pouring it on hard here tonight.
You know, I just noticed something, guys. You was talking about it a little bit ago. The guy in 18th place now, 3 laps down. That number 9 is Nick Kie. I don't know what happened to him.
When he came into pit road, it looked like he may have gotten on the brakes a little too hard, and it shot the left front of that thing right into the inside retaining wall of pit road. Looks like damage has been repaired though, and he is back out there. He was one of the quickest movers out there and the biggest mover for quite a long time. So maybe Okie will try and get back on to the lead lap, but he's not the only one suffering from being a lap or more down, guys. The list is long. Casey Campbell, Corey Rutherford, Aaron Bockover, Fred Thompson, Jamie Walker, Nick Okie, Ty Morosco, and of course Rick Thompson, who we haven't seen on track for a long time.
Hey, he's on track now. I don't know what race you're watching, buddy.
Oh, well, he is on track, but he was off track for a long time.
He was, yes, a very long time.
Still being scored in last place, just behind Ty Morosco.
I'm starting to think Tim's getting bored. He's sending messages. Hi, guy. What up, guys? In the chat.
Tim. I think you have a young man you need to be helping out here. He's in 9th spot. Ian Habiak.
Hurricane.
The TRJkarting.com Toyota Camry, and make sure you do check out TRJkarting.com. In fact, why don't we go ahead and play it?
TRJkarting.com is your #1 online source for karting components, engines, and safety gear. They have a huge selection for the novice to the professional and a dedicated section for sim racers. No matter how you do it, your desire and passion to go fast fuels them. Their focus is to put their customers into victory lane. Make sure you check them out at TRJkarting.com and give them a like on Facebook.
Guys, while that was playing, I started noticing something, and that is that the 10 of Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, who's running in 2nd spot, is starting to close down on Dalton Kilroe. The gap right now 0.4 of a second between 1st and 2nd, and shrinking just a little bit every single lap.
You know, I'm kind of sad too, guys, because last week the Butcher was on cam, but not able to do it there this week.
I'm looking at the Texas race back in April for Taylor. Started 21st, ended 14th. Last week, started 3rd, ended 5th, and right now he's 3rd in our points battle.
Hey, race leader Don Kilroe on screen now to your bottom right hand side, just trying to get it done after a little bit of a room rearrangement, it looks like, guys. And Kilroe doing just fine with it as he is leading the way around this 1.5 mile long track known as Texas Motor Speedway. How about this, guys? Marquis Smith in the 21, back up into 3rd position. Brian Dees trying to make a run to the inside, couldn't quite get there, almost loses it, with Blake Decker going to be on the outside. Decker tucks it in just a little bit more, and Dees got away with one there.
Dees needs a hell of a finish today, guys, to help keep him up there. Where's he at right now? He's in the 7th spot, so he's going to have to do something to get up in that top 4.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, obviously we have one more race after the time we head to the paperclip at Martinsville. But, you know, if it was me, Gary, you're absolutely right. I'd want to do something here in Texas, so that way Martinsville can be kind of a free-for-all. But right now, Brian D is trying everything that he possibly can, racing Blake Decker on the outside, Blake Decker on the inside. Gets a really good piece of momentum there. Able to keep Brian D's behind him right now.
Yeah, I see if one of these top 8 in our points battle right now wins this race today, maybe they do a start and park next week. I don't know, but they can take it easy next week at Martinsville and not have to sweat it out.
Yeah, speaking of somebody who could take it easy next week, how about Donald Kilroe, who has led more laps here tonight than anybody else? Kilroe on a bit of a mission here tonight, guys.
I know I personally got to interview Dalton Kilroe last week after his second place finish at Kansas, and you know, we talked to him about a little bit. You know, you want to try to get what the guy's feelings are of the races that are ahead of him, and you know, Dalton said, you know, Texas really is the track that I need to do something at because Martinsville is going to be tough. And I think all the drivers that are in that top 8, Chris and Terry, they really think that right now, and they're trying to make as many big moves here at Texas as they possibly can.
Cool shot right out of the front bumper of Donald Kilroe. He crosses the start-finish line, getting ready to head into turn number 1.
Guys, we ain't got about 3 more laps left in this stage.
Yeah, it's closing up quick. Number 99 being worked right now by the 41 car. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin is closing in ever so slowly per lap. The gap now down less than half a second. Does the Butcher have something in mind? If he does, he's going to have to do it soon. 0.3 of a second right now. As they cross the start finish line, 0.27 is the gap differential between first and second. One more lap to try and figure out who's going to win stage number 2. Colin Kilroe working the back stretch. He's got some lap traffic, slower cars just ahead of him that may play into this a little bit. We've got Thompson, Fred Thompson, right in front of Don Kilroe. Fred Thompson right now being scored in the 16th position, and not going to matter because the 41 is going to take stage number 2. A nice clean stage, guys. This is only our 3rd caution, 2 of them for stage ending caution flags. Colin Kilroe, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, Marquis Smith, your top 3 as we get ready to burn the house down with just one more stage to go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chris, Rick, and Terry up in the booth for the Turn 3 Racing Network. We can't thank you enough for joining us live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network and over on PrideOutdoorNetwork.com. We will be right back to start stage number 3. live here from Texas Motor Speedway. Stage 2 is in the books. Our Stage 1 and Stage 2 winner is Dalton Kilroe. Kilroe really turning it on here tonight. And guys, the question has to be asked, is there anybody out there that's got the number 41 in his sights? Because so far, the only guy that's been able to get even close is Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, and even he was about 0.4 of a second away the last time they crossed the start-finish line.
Yeah, Chris, you're right on that. The other one I was looking at, not even a contender, guy in the 21 car, Marquis Smith, man. I mean, he come from all the way back to the back. Now he's up in 3rd place. I think he's got a car he may be able to do it too.
I know Chris said it, when he went back there, the 21 very fast here tonight. It took him no time. I mean, Terry, you mentioned, you're like, hey, look, Marquis already up, in the top 15, working his way up through, and then it was the top 10, then it was, the top 5. And, Marquis, we've been working with him a little bit, and he's getting there. And that 21 very fast. I think we're going to see him be a contender here for a race win here tonight.
And also, I think 92, Blake Decker, he showed what he could do last week on this same style track almost in Kansas. I wouldn't count him out either, guys.
No, I've been looking at the driver cams, and I'm, me and Terry, we're kind of lucky that we can watch that, and we've been seeing everybody. Blake Decker, he's out of his water, and maybe has just a little bit left. We got Brian Dees right now drinking his smart water, buddy. Just so you know, I've done extensive research. I've drinking gallons of that stuff. It made me no smarter, but it's still good for hydration. I haven't really seen Dalton take too many drinks. Ian just pounded down a Gatorade. The Shermanator, he's been sipping from his cup. I don't want to know what's in that thing because it's probably rocket fuel. And, Terry, I've been seeing you're drinking your Coke, but Marquis Smith, he hasn't been drinking. I'm sure he's looking for a little wetness there in the mouth, but right now concentrating hard, sitting there where he is sitting in the 4th position, and we are back under green with Dalton Kilroe getting a really good restart on that outside, guys. And here comes Blake Decker in the 92 right behind him to kind of close that door from the Butcher.
Oh, the 92 doing more than that as he is pushing for the lead. The 92 heading into the corner, drops down to the inside. The 41 gonna go down a spot. And new race leader out of nowhere, Blake Decker. What a power move on the restart out of the 92 of Blake Decker. And he had that thing planned, guys. The way he executed it was perfect.
And one thing that's kind of interesting, and again, this week he is down in the Top Lap Racing channel with Dalton Kilroe and Taylor the Butcher Benjamin. So I've been seeing Blake talking quite a bit, and I'm sure he's talking with his teammates that are running 1, 2, and 3 right now and trying to figure it out. But yeah, he definitely had something in mind, maybe telling Dalton, sorry, but you ain't winning this one. I'm taking 2 away this round.
Guys, another thing, when I said I was down there talking to everybody about tires and stuff earlier in the race, before the race, Dalton Kilroe and that 41 was one of them.
Don't want to interrupt, but here comes the Butcher. The Butcher to the inside, now fighting for the race lead. Something going on with the 41. The 41 way up high, losing a bunch of spots. And now the Butcher challenges Blake Decker for the race lead. They're side by side, heading into turn 3, and the 10 car takes over the race lead. Here comes Marquis Smith now looking on the inside. Marquis Smith takes over second at the line.
I just got to say to Dalton, now that we have this in-car, that rip looks really good on your head, buddy. Hopefully it's treating you well.
Well, I think it's treating him okay, Rick, but right now, Kilroe finds himself in 5th spot. The winner of Stage 1, the winner of Stage 2 has just fallen 4 spots to 5th.
While these guys are jumping around and getting around the 41 and Dalton Kilroe, I was watching him in his in-car. He just kept nice and calm. I wouldn't be too surprised if that wasn't by design. Just let these guys go, trying to save these tires, guys, because we got a long way to go for the end of this race.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right, Terry. I mean, Stage 1 and 2 are in the books now. This is the final stretch, just under 100 laps to go. And, guys, I mean, it's still a lot of racing, but I think you're right. I think Dalton, we've only had one other caution other than the stage cautions here so far tonight. So to think about that, these guys are driving, they're like, well, if this is caution filled, I'll say with Sal, I'll take it on a caution at the final stint there. But that hasn't really worked into place. So these guys are going to have to do some green flag pit stops anyway. I think a lot of guys want to save their equipment for as long as they possibly can, protect those tires until the last minute and make their moves. Now we know that Dalton Kilroe can do that. He's done it all season. He has the second most wins here of the season. The only one that has more than him, the man who is in front of him, the 88, or Jamie Walker with 14 races.
Well, in front of him, yes, Rick, but that only means on track. Jamie Walker
Right.
being scored in the 16th position, trying to get a lap back. Boy, how many times have we said that this season? How about 0?
Oh yeah, first time.
Yeah, last time here, Jamie started at the pole, finished 4th. Then we know we had to do a disconnect last week here. Yeah, you know, stuff at home we had to take care of. So I'm glad he's back out here running 2 laps down.
If anybody can figure out how to try and win this race with 2 laps down at 1:13, it's Jamie Walker. Keep an eye on the 88 machine right now, working the backside of the 33 of John Perkins. And the 88 gets down to the inside. He's going to try and go around the 33 right now. It does.
Hey, Ryan, good to see you there. So Jamie Walker had a little incident. He was involved in that first caution that we had there towards the beginning of the race. A little damage there on the 88 and been dealing with some blinking issues here tonight. So that set him back a little bit, but he is definitely on the move to try to get one of those 2 laps back, guys. He is doing it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, he is going to earn it as the 88 is blistering this track right now. Ryan, good to see you out in chat, bud. It's been way too long. I hope everything is going as well as possible for you.
Yeah, Ron, really good to see you out there. I don't want to give anything away, but I would like for you to be around the next couple races. Next week we're at Martinsville. We take the following Sunday off, and then we go to a championship race, and really like to see you at both of them, buddy.
Blake Decker goes down a spot. Well, doesn't go down a spot, but loses a little track position to the 88. And I'm telling you guys, Walker, he's got something here tonight. He's just got to put it down. And we'll see if he's able to get back on the lead lap and make a contender out of himself. Here we're working lap 117 of 201. Taylor the Butcher Benjamin, your race leader in the 10 car.
Chris, I don't know if you guys caught it again. Ty Morosco, unacceptable level again.
Oh, man.
That's tough because Ty Morosco coming in here 6th tonight in points, needed a good finish here. He's going to have to do something major at Martinsville.
Better internet, maybe?
Maybe.
I mean, that's where you got to start.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, Ty Morosco started tonight on the pole. Now he's showing an 18th place, 5 laps down. Man.
Guys, the 88 is showing what kind of horsepower he has under the hood as he is getting his lap back, or 1 lap back the old-fashioned way. Now Jamie Walker being scored 1 lap down in the 16th position.
Jamie's one of those guys I wouldn't be able to reach when I went through an actual pit walk earlier. I don't think he was in his car yet or what, but I wanted to talk to him about his tires. And man, I think he's using them a lot right now.
Yeah, but he's also one of those drivers, Terry. I don't know if you caught this in the time you've been in the booth, but Jamie Walker really enjoys having his car a little bit on the loose side. So wearing down those tires a little bit, not going to be the thing that slows him down. Right now, he's just really he could use a caution. I mean, that would be the biggest thing. But speaking of, oh my goodness, we've got a pass for the race lead. Marquis Smith out of nowhere just blows the doors off from the 10, and here comes Blake Decker and John Perkins. The 10 car really slow right now. The 41 also taking a spot away. What is going on with the Butcher?
I'm in car with him. I don't see him doing nothing different than what he has been. RPMs are up. His car sounds good.
We got a couple. Well, we got one driver on pit road right now. It's Corey Sherman in the 3 car. Sherman.
But guys, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Sherman coming out of pits right now.
If I'm looking at the top 3, Marquis Smith, Blake Decker, John Perkins. None of these guys are in the chase. That's a lot of points to be taken away from the other guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge thing. And I'll tell you, this is why people come. They come to win a race. And right now, Marquis Smith is your race leader, and he is doing it really well. I mean, he is tracking down Jamie Walker. He is pulling away from Blake Decker.
Dakota Todd checking in. What's up, fellas? Hey, Dakota, man, we miss you out here on track, brother. We miss you a lot.
Yeah, we definitely do, buddy. Hopefully to see you a lot more next season there, but hopefully everything is well. You got a good Halloween. And hopefully you change the clocks back, unless you're in Arizona, where they don't play this silly game of cutting an inch off of the top of the blanket, sewing it to the bottom one, because only the government would tell you that you're going to have a longer blanket if you do that. And make sure you change them batteries and the smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. And listen, folks, something that we haven't touched on is a very important day coming up here on Tuesday. Get out there, make sure you vote. If you haven't done your early voting already, you're going to go out in person and get it done. I don't care who you vote for, as long as you get out there, you exercise your right. Vote, vote, vote. Very important. And listen, guys, we have somebody in the infield care center when we have a chance to talk with Ty Morosco.
I say bring him on up, Rick.
Hi, Morosco. You got Rick, Chris, and Terry up in the booth. You got a copy, brother?
Yes, I do.
Oh, man, what a night for you. You came in here 6 in points, having all kinds of, we like to call it in the sim, engine issues there. What's going on, man?
Yeah, if that's the case, engine was sputtering, I guess, a little bit. It was in and out, came back, and it just never clicked. Looks like we're going to be done for the night probably here.
Oh, man, I hate to hear that, because, I mean, you had so much riding on this race. You were very fast. Came in here, you had the pole, and not good. And now, obviously, 6 in points, you still have a chance next week in Martinsville. How are you feeling about that?
It's Martinsville. You can make up a lot of points there, especially with all the incidents and all that. But right now it's must win, and I feel like it was must win coming in the night. And obviously this night I was pretty fast. One of the fastest I've been all year. And that's just disappointing.
It is. I mean, your season's been kind of up and down, buddy, but you really fought back and you got back up there. And I hate to see the issues that you're having tonight. Of course, you're not alone. Rick Thompson sitting there being scored right now in 20th position. So you two guys very close to that cutoff line. So definitely got to have a good race next week, man. And hopefully you can get things figured out.
Yeah, hopefully. Just very disappointing because he comes second in that stage and then he just cuts out. So nothing you can do, I guess.
You got to love it. We'll blame it on the iRacing gods and the connection of the internet service providers. Anybody on that number one you'd like to thank, brother?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Michael Falk at MF Racing Designs. He does great paints, especially a bunch of paints out there right now on track that probably he designed. And check him out on Facebook. Yeah, he's very friendly, easily available, and check him out. And obviously TRG Karting as well. Thank you, Tim, for putting on another great season.
Excellent. Well, hey, buddy, you're not done yet. You still got Martinsville there next week. And listen, I mean, I'm going to put you back down. Hopefully you're going to be helping Brian Dees out. He's looking pretty confident there and very concentrated on his in-car camera. So he might need you, though.
Yeah, he likes. I'm going to let him do himself. He's a little quiet. We like to keep it pretty quiet down there, so.
All right, brother. Well, hey, listen, sorry about your luck tonight. Hopefully it turns around for you next week at Martinsville.
Yes, hopefully. Let's go out and win.
All right, buddy. Have a good night.
That was the driver of the 1 car, unfortunately having to call it a night tonight, Ty Morosco. Meanwhile, we've been watching the race leader, the 21 of Marquis Smith. Smith not letting go of the back bumper of the 88 machine of Jamie Walker. And why would you guys? Walker knows how to get around these tracks. If you can emulate that line, why wouldn't you try?
Hey, you're absolutely right.
Working lap number 131 of 201 live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It's the Blazing Pedals, TRJKarting.com K&N Series. And man, what a race it has been. 3 cautions so far here tonight. 2 of them were for stage enders, and 1 in the middle of stage 1 between the race leader, the 21 in the car in front of him, guys, the 88 of Jamie Walker.
I don't see where the pit times were when everybody pitted last, Chris. That's all on you. Are we close to anywhere to a pit?
Well, the race leader last time on pit road, lap 102. John Perkins last on pit road, 102. Blake Decker. And Don Killer, 102. Derek Paulson, 103.
Jamie Walker hitting the pit right now as the leaders went around him.
That kind of jammed up the 21 just a little bit as John Perkins working the outside, trying to take over the race lead. Has that outside lane come in? We're going to find out. Oh, look at that. Blake Decker trying to get to the back bumper of the 21. He is all over it. John Perkins backs off, and Blake Decker is trying to get around Marquis Smith. Can he do it? No, they're coming down pit road. That's going to give the lead over to Dalton Kilrow. And Rick, you're right. That answered that question pretty darn quick. Kilrow, the butcher, stay out that time.
I'm going to keep an eye on the 21 of Marquis Smith. He may have hit his pits a little too fast. He doesn't look too happy when he comes in the pits.
Well, of course, you have all kinds of excitement when you're leading the race. Hopefully for him. Oh, no.
He's not happy. That's okay, Marquis. You got this, bud. Get back out there and do it again.
Marquis Smith had both hands up on that VR for just a moment. Didn't quite catch it, but now the 41, Dalton Kilrow, coming down pit road. That's going to surrender the race lead over to Brian Gap Finder D's. He's last on pit road, lap 104, so I guess he could probably make it a couple more laps before he has to come down, guys. But if they're getting tires, he's got to be careful because tires make all the difference. I'm looking through, and I will tell you, top 9 drivers have not taken tires. Some of them haven't come down pit road though.
I don't know if you can hear it, Chris, but every time, D's starting to use that clutch, I believe.
Well, let's hop into his cockpit and we're going to find out what Brian Dees is up to here. Oh, look at that. Ryan Feeney goes by our race leader. He's trying to stretch it out. Boy, is he stretching it out.
I mean, Dees knows what he's doing.
And just like that, he's coming down pit road, guys. That should surrender the race lead over to the 92 of Blake Decker. Blake Decker's had one fabulous night here tonight. And this kid has been sawing on that steering wheel all night long.
Chris, Blake, if you remember, Blake took a little hiatus away from us for a little bit. Since he's come back, man, that 92's been on rails. He's just nonstop out here doing what he can, finishing. He won last week. Last time we was here, I believe he got 6th place out of this.
He's looking for something a little bit more than that here tonight, Terry, as right now Blake Decker leads the way.
Mark Arthur says he lost power also. That sucks. So Mark,
no.
hope gets things back and get back in there.
All the drivers are happy about that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but now Mark, as he starts talking, you can't shut him up.
I know Sam's probably been loving it because it's quiet. Of course, Mark and Sam doing an awesome job, guys. Chris, you and I know how hard it is to make the decision to get, step out of the car and out of that driver's role and take over admin and sit here and watch these races week in and week out. And my hats go off to Mark Arthur and Sam Baumgarten for all their outstanding work that they've done here with the Blazing Pedals.
Yeah, definitely not the easiest decision to make, but they did a couple of seasons ago, and I believe the racing is a little bit better because of it. And by a little, guys, I mean a lot better.
Guys, I'm in Blake Decker's car. He's doing the same thing that somebody else was doing a little bit ago.
Not too early to start saving fuel. We're going to take a little break on the Turn 3 Racing Network, guys. We're going to go side by side so you don't miss any of the action.
TRJKarting.com is your #1 online source for karting components, engines, and safety gear. They have a huge selection for the novice to the professional and a dedicated section for sim racers. No matter how you do it, your desire and passion to go fast fuels them. Their focus is to put their customers into victory lane. Make sure you check them out at TRJKarting.com and give them a like on Facebook.
Back live here at Texas, and guys, we were watching this as we were doing the side-by-side. John Perkins is starting to really climb to the back bumper of the 92 of Blake Decker.
Yeah, he really is, Chris. I mean, I don't want to give it away too much, but Blake Decker definitely saving some fuel going into 1 and 2, and that has caused John Perkins' gap to the back end of Blake Decker to become almost nothing. Only 0.13 seconds right now. A little bit, it's fluctuating a little bit, but it was almost a second there a couple of laps ago.
Guys, John Perkins started 8th, finished 10th here last time we was here, so it's no surprise to see him up there.
Yeah, Perkins just thanking the boss, and now looking on the inside, John Perkins looking for the race lead. John Perkins has it by a nose coming out of the corner. John Perkins looking for the race lead for the first time here tonight. The 33 crosses the line as your race leader. Wow. Perkins is letting it slide up just a little bit to slow that 92 down. Then he brings it back down to that inside lane. John Perkins looking to try and just put his name on the leaderboard, and he has it all to himself right now. Oh, the 92 gives a little bump. He says, hey, boy, I'm here. Not done yet is this battle for the race lead. Jamie Walker right behind him watching the whole thing unfold. Back to the inside now is Blake Decker looking for that race lead one more time. He and John Perkins battling it out. The 88, couple of laps down right now. And it looks like Blake Decker going to hit the hammer down on this one. Blake Decker takes the lead back over and then some.
And it went back to hitting the clutch again, guys.
If you're going to save fuel, you can't just do it for the last couple of laps. You have to do it for the whole run.
Yeah, Chris, we're 50 laps away from the end of this. At least one more fuel stop anyway.
Yeah, one more fuel stop, and these guys know it. But they also know that there's green-white checker that might be a possibility. So they have to account for that in their math. Guys, all of a sudden the 3 car is right there. He did come down pit road, took tires, and Corey Sherman looks like he's setting up to pass the race leader right now, and he does it fairly quickly. The 3 car moving. He's being scored in 13th position. And Corey Sherman, one of those drivers who has to have a good night here tonight. Is it going to come down to tire strategy? We'll have to wait and see, but the 3 car right now did just get a lap back. Being scored in the 13th spot, and he is gone. Those new tires are definitely working for Corey Sherman.
I do know the Shermanator got himself a new wheel, shifter, and pedals and stuff. He has not hooked none of that stuff up yet. I asked him, I said, man, you gotta wait till after the season so you can get used to the stuff before you do that.
Yeah, mid-season or in the hunt for the championship, probably not the best time.
Unless he spends all week on it at Martinsville practicing, you know, I think he'd better just stick with what he's got right now.
Derek Paulson, who at one time led this race in 3rd spot, kind of out of nowhere. So watch out for the 6th machine. That little throwback-esque machine of Derek Paulson. Every time I look at it, man, I just see Valvoline.
Yeah, that's one thing that, I mean, we talked about that multiple times, Chris. And, you know, and I love to see that paint scheme is out on the track. And let me tell you, Michael Block does a fabulous job, folks. You know, if you need a paint, he's your man. I mean, does outstanding work. We've seen it on so many of the cars here in the Blazing Pedals, and I haven't found one yet that I haven't liked.
In chat, Mark's saying that Sam's stream is going to be boring without him.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Sam can talk to himself pretty good.
I mean, all I'm gonna say is that Sam messaged me earlier and said that his stream is on point tonight without Mark there, and he says, you know, so good and so on point that Turn 3 is gonna want to hire me. And I told him that he can apply anytime he wants. I'll put in a good word for him.
Well, Blake Decker still your race leader. John Perkins trying to close the gap again. Decker doing a fantastic job. A good balance between saving fuel and holding on to the race lead. Terry, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but these guys are running 50% fuel. Let's remind everybody again what a fuel run is around this 1.5-mile track.
Approximately 26 to 28 laps. That's running full board. One of the guys said, Jamie Walker's sliding a little bit, giving it up there lane. One of the guys said he ran 29 laps, but it wouldn't be suggested to try it.
Now, of course, the lighter the fuel cells get, the more loose these cars are. And we just saw that out of our race leader as the back end started to come around. He was able to correct it and continue on.
Blake Decker all over the wheel there, guys.
Clean racing, as we have grown accustomed to seeing here on Sunday nights. The Blazing Pedals, TRJKarting.com, putting on a whale of a show here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and again live over on the Pride Outdoor Network, PrideOutdoorNetwork.com. Make sure to check them out. Not right now, but definitely check them out. Don't go away from this race. I promise we haven't seen the end of it yet.
Looks like we lost E in there for a minute or so.
No, we haven't checked on Ian for a little while. Right now being scored a lap down in 11th spot. He's doing a slightly different pit strategy from some of these other guys. We know that because, well, we heard it out of Tim.
Must have lost his camera because I ain't seeing nothing on it.
Oh, I see him. Oh, he's frozen.
Let it go. Just let it go.
You want me to start singing?
I was wondering if one of you guys would catch it.
Well, you know, I do have 2 girls, Terry, and yeah, I know all about both those movies. I mean, last week we saw a little bit of drama unfolding on the track there with the 44 Bush machine of Aaron Bach over at TNA Motorsports and Dalton Kilroe. And we know that there's a little rivalry going on there, guys. I got a message from the wife and said we might have a problem up here, and she sent me a picture of my 2 kittens that we brought home and we saved a couple weeks ago have finally worked their way to go upstairs with the dog in the living room, and I haven't heard any kind of screeching, growling, yelping, or anything yet. So
Blake Decker coming down pit road. He had to because Derek Paulson, Brad Collins, and John Perkins all came down pit road, and that's going to surrender the lead off to Dalton Kilroe, guys.
You broke in there and your voice cracked a little bit. That's okay. I know you got to get more lubrication down the pipe, bud.
Well, I'm dry. That's the problem.
Taking a couple home with you.
I mean, I don't have any more on the desk.
Oh.
Don't worry, I have a son that's taking care of me.
I was just going to say, Philip had an Uncle Rick a frosty beverage.
So Dalton Kilroe, now your race leader, has not come down pit road yet. This cycle last on pit road, lap 134. Well, these guys are stretching out their fuel runs, Terry.
I'm riding along with him right now. He is clutching the heck out of that thing every turn, guys.
Yeah, Kilroe just trying to hang out as long as he can, trying to make it so he only has to stop one more time. Here we are on lap 166, and Terry, if your math is right for the fuel stops, these guys still have another stop they have to do.
Sure it is. Okay. I really should write this stuff down, I guess, but I don't.
We only depend on you, like, you know, a lot as far as fuel runs go, Terry. It's okay.
So how many laps has it been since Kilroe's hit the pit lane?
Last on pit road, lap 134. So that would be 34 laps ago.
Yeah, he is
33.
saving the heck out of that field than any.
Yes, he is.
Now we just called out that he's heading to the pits, guys.
And that, guys, is going to put Corey Sherman on the tail end of the lead lap. Corey Sherman, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Ian Habiak, Tanner Marr, and Marquis Smith. So a bunch of guys getting laps back here. And look at this, the 44, Aaron Bockover, going to go around Corey Sherman. Those two are teammates. Bockover being scored in the 12th position. Terry, you got to pucker up just a little bit anytime you see those two cars around each other, right?
Yeah, I do actually. They've had problems in the past. It's not a secret anymore. Not just this season, but the last couple seasons they've had. Just it's not that we don't like each other. Me and anybody else, or Aaron and anybody else, Corey, anybody else. It's just, I guess it's respect. And there's a couple drivers yet that's not racing with us anymore. They come back. I owe them. So if they ever come back, I will get it back.
You got your list.
I sure do.
Well, right now, the guy on top, Brian Dees in the number 17. Brian Dees, ultra focused as he has been all night long. You barely see a movement out of him. So slow on the wheel, so comfortable, but ultra focused, guys, if I'm looking at the camera. And that's one of the cool things that we can see is just how these drivers vary in their approach. When we look at Blake Decker here, Blake Decker is just kind of sawing on that steering wheel. Dalton Kilroe kind of looking around, trying to figure out, talking to somebody. Corey Sherman, he is up on that wheel. There is 10 inches between his back and the seat. Marquis Smith out there sawing on that wheel a little bit. So a little bit of differences out there as far as how these guys are driving and how comfortable they are. Brian Dees bringing it down pit road, guys. And that's going to give the lead over to Derek Paulson, the 6 car. He led this one earlier on and then kind of faded to the back. Now, Derek Paulson back up front in charge of this race. Lap 172 of 201. And very shortly, we're going to see 26 laps to go come up on the screen. Next week, we do head to the paperclip here on the Turn 3 Racing Network for the Blazing Pedals. So if you're a fan of short track action, make sure you're here next Sunday night. I want to thank everybody once again for tuning in to the Turn 3 Racing Network. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and click on the subscribe button with the bell notification. That'll tell you every single time Turn 3 goes live. And I'm not even going to lie to you guys, it's just about every single night.
Yeah, Mark, I know I have to be on track, but the 2 that I need to get back aren't even any race with us anymore, so I'll have to pick somebody else, I guess, for next season.
Mark's throwing out the Z's. Sometimes you get that here on these cookie cutter tracks. It's just good racing with no cautions. That's what happens. The field gets spread out. This guy's Dylan Kilroy right now being scored the first car, one more lap down behind Ian Habiak.
3 in.
$26 laps to go on the scoreboard. This one winding down. Derek Paulson, your race leader. Blake Decker in second. John Perkins in third spot. So, guys, what I'm looking at right now is 2 out of the top 3 are not chase contenders. How about 4th spot? Belongs to Brad Collins, not a race contender, or a chase contender, excuse me. Ian Habiak running in 5th spot, not a chase contender. These guys doing it out there for pride.
Yeah, they get this, again, Chris, they get this, one of these guys get a win. That's going to put 8 guys in a predicament next week at Martinsville. A win or go home.
So many things still needing to be sorted out. How about Nick Okie? At one time, he was the biggest mover of this race. Now down 3 laps in 17th position. Nick Okie with a really good-looking ride, just not able to stay on the lead lap here tonight. Beanie getting around him right now. And here comes our race leader. Oh, of course, Sherman right there too. Sherman being scored in the 12th spot right now. And the 3 car looking to try and get around the race leader. Corey Sherman, guys, one of those drivers that's trying to get the absolute best finish he can tonight. And he goes around your race leader. Corey Sherman gets one back. Checking in on our race admin, just checking to see how Sam's doing. He says, I've been talking this whole time, so good on you, Sam. That's about what I've been doing too.
Guys, 41 just got into the 73.
.41, Dalton Kilroe, 73, Casey Campbell. Kilroe trying to get towards the front of this pack right now, being scored in 6th spot. He's one of those chase drivers being scored in the 6th position, down 1 lap.
I was watching Dalton in that 41 as he was catching up to the 73 there. He's doing it again.
That
trying
sounds
to
like
save
Rick.
fuel, guys. Do what? Oh, sounds like, yeah, I have to be Rick because I'm still drinking my Coke.
It's me. I had to take a break there because the cat and dogs weren't getting along too well. I ruined it. See, the commentator curse works for animals too. But yeah, guys, I've been in the cockpit of Dalton Kilroe here for a little bit, and definitely a little fuel savings out of the number 41 machine.
19 laps to go. 2 drivers on the lead lap, Derek Paulson and Blake Decker. There's a lot of drivers, though, that have already come down pit road and just waiting for Derek Paulson and Blake Decker to come down pit road here, guys. Last time they were on pit road, lap 162, 163 respectively. And the drivers behind them, they were on the same time, so I'm not sure. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, this is really turning out to be an interesting end here to Texas, that's for sure.
I'm thinking about sending some wood over to Blake Decker and put a saw on that wheel. That way he can just saw some wood for us.
Yeah,
he is all up in that wheel.
Yeah, he really has been all night long. The kids run like 400 miles. We were only doing, well, no, he's run more than that. My goodness, he's running probably like 800 miles, somewhere in there. 800 miles worth of turns, anyways. That said, he's the only other driver on the lead lap, guys, running in 2nd spot, about we'll call it 1.8 seconds behind our race leader. So Blake Decker holding on to a 2nd place run right now. Marquis Smith running in 3rd spot. He's the first driver, 1 lap down in 3rd position. I haven't talked about him a lot tonight, other than some of the issues he's been having with his pedals, but Tanner Marr Right now in the 19 being scored in 4th position, John Perkins right behind him in 5th. And just as we're talking about them, it looks like John Perkins going to take the inside lane. John Perkins moves up to the 4th spot. Oh man, I cannot wait to see the way the points shake out after this one. There are a lot of drivers in the top 10 that are not part of the chase. And some drivers in that top 10 that needed a fantastic finish tonight that might be a little disappointed coming away from tonight.
Or some drivers are just going to have to race their butts off next week.
Well, that's it. I mean, you can be disappointed in your finish tonight, but know that you have short track action next week at Martinsville. The paperclip coming at you live next Sunday night here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And then, if I recall correctly, Rick, I know you've said it, but I believe the next week after that we have off, and then we start the round of 4.
Yeah, that is correct. After Martinsville, the league is shut down for a week to give all the drivers a chance to vote on where the championship race is going to be. Now, it can be any track that they have raced in this season, and it's been a long season, guys, as you know. The only tracks that cannot be picked are road courses and super speedways.
We don't do short tracks either, like Bristol and Martinsville.
That's not a good rule.
No, that's a horrible rule.
Yeah,
I hate that rule.
You can't do that.
I don't make the rules. I just obey them.
I think that rule is BS, and I think it was just made within the last few weeks. Because I have always, even last season, I was
the
told
92 of Blake Decker hard into the wall. Blake Decker able to keep it going, but did contact the wall very hard. He pancaked the right side of that one.
And Dalton Kilroy peeling off guys, or Derek Paulson peeling off guys heading down pit road.
Paulson, the 92, Blake Decker peeling off. And that's going to give the lead back to the 21 car. Marquis Smith going to be your race leader after it cycles out behind him. It's Kilroy and Dees battling it out. Dalton Kilroy and Brian Dees. This is all 4 position, guys. And it is getting hot out there. 3 wide going down the backstretch. Oh, and Brian Dees just gets it done. Very aggressive move out of the 17 machine tonight. Wow. And Derek Paulson heading back out on track. Was he going to be able to hold on to the race lead? We're going to find out here because Blake Decker is coming out as well. But Brian Dees up to speed along with Dalton Kilroy. And they are working the back stretch. Derek Paulson going to remain your race leader. Big time move out of Paulson to be able to come down pit road and maintain his race lead.
I mean, Paulson needed this, guys. He needs to concentrate on the next 9 laps as he crosses that start-finish line, or 10 laps to go. But he's got to concentrate very, very hard because he is right at that cutoff line, sitting in that 4th position.
Shut up, Mark. They don't even. I'm telling them no.
Yeah, see? That's what I thought, Mark. See? I know the rules better than your admin. I'm just saying.
I know what the rule was. I know these guys ain't gonna vote for Martinsville or Bristol. I'm pretty sure of that.
I just want it to go a tie again. If it goes to a tie, Rick and I get to choose. And I'll tell you right now, these drivers will not like it. Not one bit.
Yeah, because you guys are going to Oxford. That's, we don't care.
It has to be one we've already raced on.
Now, listen, if you can change the rules with only 2 races left of the season before the champion, we can change it the week before.
That's right.
You keep it up and you're going to Lime Rock.
Mark, I know we're allowed to go to short tracks. I just know none of us will vote on it.
BP's Biden.
Derek Paulson, your race leader. Blake Decker, Brian Dees, your top 3. 8 laps to go. Does anybody have anything for Derek Paulson right now? Blake Decker, the closest one, but 1.8 seconds is the gap differential between first and second place here tonight. This 1.5-mile track is definitely put on a heck of a show here tonight, guys. We've had 3 caution flags so far, 1 for an incident in stage number 1. Then we had stage 1 and stage 2 enders, which also brought out the caution. That's it. Everything else has been green flag laps all the way around.
Yeah, it's been a fabulous race. I mean, a lot of different lead changes. These guys doing a fabulous job. I really look forward to hearing the post-race interview, or not interviews, but the write-up that Terry does. I love reading those week in and week out, and I think Terry's going to be pretty proud, along with Mark and Sam. I mean, Mark missed half of it because his quote-unquote power was out playing Among Us, but you know, it was a good race here, and another one to put in the books.
Yeah, Rick, definitely. This is what Mark and the rest of us, the admins, wanted. This is the kind of season we want right here. We've had one caution so far tonight. So, yeah, this is exactly what Blazing Pedals is about. This is how we want to race.
Derek Paulson opening up the race lead now, 2.36 seconds over Blake Decker. And Decker on that corner, boy, did he have a good entrance, but starts to lose it here as he comes out. So Paulson right now working this track better than anybody else with 4 laps to go. And we've got Blake Decker coming into pit road. Blake Decker coming on pit road, guys. That changes everything back up.
Everything.
As now Brian Dees is going to be in second spot. John Perkins in third. I'll tell you one guy that isn't sad to see that happen. It's Corey Sherman running in the 6th position. Really could have used a win tonight, but Corey Sherman right now in 6th position with a couple of guys in there that are not part of the chase. This night might help Sherman out quite a bit, but still going to need to figure out a way to really capitalize on Martinsville next week.
That's going to be the tough thing, guys. I mean, the Shermanator is going to have to figure that out come next week. And but I think you're right. I mean, you know, with the unfortunate stuff going on with Morosco and Rick Thompson here tonight, you know, that does help out Corey Sherman a little bit. And the Shermanator, I mean, he's still going to have to perform really well there at Martinsville. So I have a feeling that the 3 car is going to be seen on track at Martinsville very early this week, practicing his heart out.
Yeah, if not just after this race. But right now, with just a lap and some to go, your race leader, Derek Paulson, putting the hammer down, 2.17 seconds over Brian Dees. The 6 car is crossing the start-finish line, gets the white flag. Final lap of this 1.5-mile long track as Derek Paulson goes through turns 1 and 2. The outside lane never really came into play here tonight at Texas, but Derek Paulson played his cards correctly, and Derek Paulson heads into turns 3 and 4 for the final time here tonight. Derek Paulson is looking like he is going to win here tonight. Brian Dees about 2 seconds behind, can't do anything about it. And we have a race winner. It is the 6 car of Derek Paulson and his MF Designs. Brian Dees brings it home in second spot. And John Perkins looking to try and finish this one out strong, looking for a 3rd place finish. He's coming out of turn number 4. John Perkins still putting the hammer down, trying to hold on to that 3rd spot. And he does. And what a race it was. Derek Paulson, your race winner. Guys, it was a heck of a race.
It was, and you know, I was watching the in-car cameras that we have for the drivers, Chris, as they were crossing that start-finish line. I think that was the first time I've seen Brian Dees take a breath here tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right. Olsen with a really nifty little burnout there. And guys, we're going to be right back. We're going to set up post-race interviews right around the corner. at Texas, and we've got our third place finisher. It's John Perkins, and I believe, Terry, you caught up with him.
Driver 33 Dodge, John Perkins, Cinderella. Got me?
I'm here. What's going on?
Hey, buddy. Oh, man. You need this couple races ago, bro, so you keep yourself up in there on top 8.
I know. I hate NASCAR. These stupid road courses. Those are for foreigners.
I'm with you, bud. Talk about your race a little bit if you don't mind.
Well, this is my home track, so I do a lot of other races here. I love this place. Once again, pit strategy. I'm never going to get this thing figured out in this league. The setup, they did an awesome job this week on this setup, man. It was great. I know you were kind of asking earlier before the race about possibly the right rear tire or anything. I never felt that, so I don't know if I was just driving different than everyone else or what. I was racing pretty good there for a while with Blake Decker earlier. I would get right up on him, but I never did pass him and stay in front of him. But I mean, again, I'm happy as can be with another podium. And you're right, it's just another couple of races too late.
But again, I'm glad you came back, and I think you told me earlier you will be here next week in the championship race. Am I correct?
I'm 99% sure it's all going to depend on the boss, so I hope tonight might help with that.
Well, also listening, we race Martinsville next week. We're off the following Sunday, then we race championship after that. So, Nick, listen.
And then John said that he would take every Sunday from now until the season starts.
Actually, if we race Martinsville next week and then we're off the next one, that's going to be perfect because that's the weekend that was going to be in question. So I'm golden, man.
All right, well, hey, buddy, congratulations on third. You think on that 33 car, buddy?
Well, obviously, the boss at work, DRJ Karting for putting this league on and all that. You guys for putting on the broadcast. Obviously, Speed Mafia for letting me race with them on the team and everything. And I have a question for you guys. Can you guys see my new paint? Because I'd like to thank Michael over there at MF Racing Designs because he put me an awesome paint together this week. But I'm not sure it got loaded up in time.
Yeah, Champion Barbecue Supplies all where I'm looking at.
Okay.
Chris, you got music playing, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you can't hear me.
It's too loud.
Turn it. Yeah, Mark said turn it off. He pays the bills. I did see John, and Michael Buck does a fabulous job, and we threw out his website there on Facebook a couple of times, and we noticed it right off the bat. And I loved how the fact that you kept the thanks boss on the back of the rear spoiler, and also I gotta tip my hat to you, man. I also see a Turn 3 logo there on the back bumper.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Turn 3, Blazing Pedals, everybody. But yeah, he put together an awesome paint job for me. I'm thrilled to death with this thing. I love it.
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks really good. Now, hopefully Chris turned down the music. So basically, we thank your boss. And boss, if you're listening, I know you missed it, but we got next week at Martinsville, then we have a week off. So John said he's got that covered for you, buddy. And he needs the 22nd off so he can come out here and run that championship race. And then, like I said, he is going to run and work every Sunday for you until the next season starts. So thank you very much for letting John come out here race. It is pretty cool, man. And I love it, the guys. Hopefully you got to watch it too there last week when you were off, man. And we missed you, and we gave you a shout out there too.
Yes, sir. I did watch it. It killed me. I can't comment while we're at work where we're at. We don't have the privileges to log into our personal accounts, and nor can we have our cell phones. So all I can do is be a spectator.
Oh, hey, that means a lot to us, buddy. We appreciate it. Listen, a good run here tonight. Look forward to seeing what you can do in Martinsville, man. Coming third here in Texas, home track. I think that's pretty awesome.
Hold on a minute. Mark is saying we need to redo his interview. Evidently nothing went through. I don't know.
Hey,
Oh,
what's here?
apparently it was too loud. I don't know.
You want me to go over it again?
Yeah, just real quick. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, sorry, John, to keep you like this, but
I'm not.
just go over your race again real quick, the short version.
Okay. Yeah, once again, Mark did an awesome job on the setup this week. The car felt fabulous to me. I didn't have any right rear issues or anything like that. Again, like we said, this is my home track, so I do have a lot of experience here. And I would just like to thank, again, again, TRJ Karting, for putting the league on, and for Mark, and for you guys in the booth for doing the broadcast every week. My teammates at Speed Mafia, my boss at work, and I'm going to go ahead and throw in there Michael over at MF Race Designs for this fabulous paint job.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you. And sorry to make you do that again, but we'll let you get down there back to your team, buddy.
All right. By the way, you guys are killing me now and making me work all these Sundays. But whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
That's the right answer. Whatever it takes to be able to race here on a Sunday night. And a good job out of the 33, bringing it home. In third spot here tonight, in second place, Rick, I believe that you caught up with Brian Gapfinder D's.
I most certainly did. Brian D's, the driver of the number 17 Mountain Dew crew. You got Rick Terry up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you guys. How's it going?
It's going good. Now, listen, I was watching you pretty much all night on the driver cam here, and I don't think you took a breath there until you crossed that start-finish line, man. You did a heck of a job out there tonight coming in second.
Yeah, kind of got lucky, I think. I didn't have anything as far as speed in the long run. I was fast in the short run. I actually ended up with the fastest lap of the race, so there's a couple bonus points there. That helps out. But I knew after probably like 20 laps, I had nothing for any of these guys. So thought maybe saving fuel, maybe taking one last pit stop was the way this was going to work out for me, get me a win. But congrats to Paulson. He pulled out the strategy better than I did.
Oh man, I mean, don't hit yourself too hard there, because you did a fabulous job. You came in tonight in 7th in points, and we know that Ty Morosco and Rick Thompson, Rick Thompson in 5th and Ty Morosco in 6th, didn't have quite the night that they needed. Thompson is scored in 19th position, with Morosco having some engine/internet issues there, coming in 20th. So that's going to help you out a little bit to be right below that cut line going into Martinsville, man. How do you feel about that?
Pretty good, I guess. Like I said, it helps. I don't know how confident I am at Martinsville. I gotta get on this week, run some practice, and try to get good fast. Actually, I know we're battling in points. I hated to see that for Ty. My teammate at S&M Motorsports, we qualified 1-2 tonight. I was hoping that's the way we were going to finish. Set maybe flip-flopped around between 1 and 2, but hey, started second, finished second. That's a pretty good night overall in my book.
Yeah, it really is. Now, listen, like I said, I was watching you there. I mean, I have the privilege of watching all the cams going on, unlike Chris, who needs about 6 more monitors to get everything up on his. Yeah, I know. And let me tell you, that smart water, dude, just throw that stuff away, because that doesn't make you smarter. I know I've drinking hundreds of gallons of that thing, and it hasn't worked. Just stick with the Dew, because it's working for you, man. But congratulations coming in second. Anybody on that 17 you'd like to thank, brother?
Yeah, I brought out the helmet. I don't know if you guys can see it over there, but with a TRJ Karting.com sticker on it. Gotta definitely thank Tim for everything he does with this league. Thank the admins, Mark and Sam, especially Sam tonight, working solo up there. I think Mark said his power got knocked out. Shout out to Pride Outdoor Network and P3RN, you guys up in the booth, for making us look good.
Listen, man, we appreciate it, and what a heck of a run, man. Get that practicing, so I'm really rooting for the 17 here this season. I want to see you do some great things, man. You deserve it. And of course, your brother is in our thoughts, and I definitely want to. We're going to work that in somehow there, especially for next season. And listen, man, you did a heck of a job, man. Bring it into Martinsville.
Yeah, just want to say real quick, actually, thank you to everybody in the league, and to both of you guys. I think pretty much everybody in the league reached out to me, after my brother passed. I know we kind of say it a lot, but, about Blazing Pedals, it's not a league, it's a family. After that, what happened to go through, everybody reaching out, I truly felt it. It truly felt like a family, and everybody reaching out. So to everyone involved with Blazing Pedals. Thank you, me and my family. We all definitely appreciate it.
That's what it's all about, brother. And we're all here for you, man. You're never alone. And, that's the thing. I mean, that's one thing that Chris and I love about Blazing Pedals. It's a league that we've always, we admired and we love. And that's exactly what it is, man. It's a family, not just another league. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of leagues on iRacing, and there's only a few that you can call, the good ones. And this is one right here, man. And we appreciate it too. And we're here for you.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate it, guys.
Man. Good luck.
Thanks.
Always and forever, the driver of the number 17. It's Brian Dees. Get it done in second place tonight. And that leaves us with just one more person to talk to. It is our race winner tonight. It's the 6 car of Derek Paulson. Derek, Chris, Rick, and Terry up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, bud. Well, it's been a little while since we've had a chance to talk to you, but here you are. You take a big one away here at Texas. What was going on in that 6 car? How was it feeling?
Oh, it felt good. It feels real good. I really believe the first time we were at Texas, I had one get taken away with a late caution, and so I knew I was going to have a good car. And long race speed is what I was good at here, and that last 96 laps in green was all I needed to see, and it was fun. The car felt great. It was a great setup by Mark.
Great setup, and it showed on track. About towards the beginning of the race, you were up front, and then you kind of disappeared for a little while. Was that by strategy?
Yeah, the first stage, I might have pushed it a tad too much, but I was going to let the guys go by, and then me and Decker kind of had a whoo moment, and I kind of got behind a few guys. I had to pass a couple guys to get to the stage 1. And then the second stage, I got a 0x, rubbed the wall, and it gave me 25 seconds damage, and my car was total junk, had no speed. It was just a handful to take care of. So I did have to come in and pit twice during the second stage caution, get everything fixed up, and got my tires, and car was really good after that.
Well, it definitely showed, especially in that final stage, because you were on the wheel hard and bringing it home to a victory tonight. Who do you have on the number 6 that you need to thank tonight?
First off, I got to thank TRJ Karting. Again, they do a fantastic job with helping us out in the league. If it wasn't for them, I don't know where we'd be. So I got to give a big shout out to them again. Got a shout out to you guys in the booth. You guys always do a great job. You guys are the best broadcasters in the business, in my opinion. I really enjoy listening to you guys up there in the booth. Got to thank MF Racing Designs. You'll see a bunch of cars on track with MF on them. He does a fantastic job. If anybody's out there looking for paint, go hit him up on Facebook. I got to thank Mark and Sam up in the booth and behind the scenes. Got to thank Nick. And I keep forgetting his name because I'm not good with names, and I was so concentrating today. But I got to thank the 19 in our channel again too today. And I think that's about it.
Oh, the 19, Tanner Marr.
There we go, Tanner. There we go.
I have
All
a question
right.
when you get done, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead, Terry.
Well, Derek, I mean, this locks you in basically for the round of 4. What's your plans next week for Martinsville, bud?
Hasn't changed. I'm going to be up there. I have a short memory, but the last time, I actually have a good memory because the last time I was in Martinsville, I was in second with a handful of laps left and self-spun out of second place. So hopefully I don't do that again this time. I'm not going to be too aggressive. I'm not going to knock somebody out of the chase for being a moron. I'll take my moves when I can get it, but I'm not going to cost somebody a chance to be in that Final Four next week.
Yeah, last time I was at Martinsville, you started 6th, finished 18th. I just happened to pull that up. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Good job, Terry.
Yeah, way to rub it in, Terry.
Sorry. I just wondered if you just want to try to play it easy next week since you are automatically locked in.
I don't see too much changing. Like I said, I'm not. I'll maybe turn the aggressiveness down a little bit, but yeah, I'll be running my race, my normal race.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations tonight, bud.
Yeah, thank you.
And listen, you want to make sure that you pull up the SDK driver information program again. You can change your team name in there, brother, just so you know.
Yep, I was gonna do that today, but I kind of got into the sim late, and
It happens.
yeah, and I was also having a couple other issues, so I'm just glad I was able to get in the race and race the whole race.
Well, listen, we're glad that you did too, man, because you put on a heck of a show there, and definitely going to help you out going into Martinsville next week, man. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you guys.
And thank you to our race winner once again, the number 6 of Derek Paulson. And what a race did he have! My goodness, all over the place. And then finally with the victory. And Terry, I saw you holding something up. Why don't you go ahead and hold it up one more time? Because I see you smiling, I see you laughing about it, but you missed your plug. So let's get it in there.
No, I'll have it up next week. I ain't gonna worry about it right now. I was trying to figure out a way to put it up there, and I was trying to look at the camera to see where it was going to sit. But I have the TRJ and the Savage Edge. TRJ definitely I'm gonna have there. Savage Edge, I'm doing that for Corey. But the one I'll put up next week is my actual sponsor that pays my bills. So that'll be up there next week. No big deal.
Alrighty. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you once again for tuning in to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Let's go ahead and, if it'll let me, I don't know if it's going to let me. Yeah, it might. Nope, it's not. Oh, there it is. Hey, look at that. That's not at all right. So, yeah. Let's do it like this. Race results tonight going to be sponsored by TRJKarting.com, and our race winner is Derek Paulson. Brian Dees bringing home second spot. John Perkins in third. Brad Collins, Corey Sherman with a top 5. Don Kilroe in sixth spot. Blake Decker, Ian Habiak, Marquis Smith, Taylor the Butcher Benjamin finishing in the top 10. Then it's Tanner Marr, Aaron Bockover, Casey Campbell, Brandon Feeney, Jamie Walker, Fred Thompson, Nick Okie, and Corey Rutherford. And Rick Thompson and Ty Morosco finishing in 19th and 20th here tonight. And that's going to do it for us here at the Turn 3 Racing Network. We appreciate you stopping by and can't wait for short track action next Sunday night, Martinsville, the Paperclip, coming at you live. We look forward to doing that. And guys, I want to thank you for joining us up in the booth tonight. And we can't wait until next week.
Yeah.